I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my dad.
Come on, intro. Intro.
I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Place to be was good. It's the #1 Chief Rocker in Knicks universe. Your main man, Uncle Freezy, is in the building. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Let's go, party people. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Your main man, Uncle Freezy. I'm still not in Studio G yet. I probably won't be in Studio G officially until Monday sometime. So I'm dealing with this pop-up setup. But it is what it is. We're gonna rock. We're gonna rock. Just like the great American poet Grand Poopa says, now a lot of people think this is easy as it look. Books and rhyme concepts and hooks. Session to session to get thoughts manifested, stressing and stressing to hit the world with a blessing. Bim. Just because things aren't easy don't mean that you can't do it. That's what I'm getting at. Life lesson. Bim, let's talk about these Knicks though. Let's talk about these Knicks, man. Let's go. I see Wiz is in the building. Wiz says, Wiz, hey, Wiz, you want this party started quickly, right? Shout out to JR, Jermaine Roysters in the building. Peace and love. D, what's good? I see you, man. I see you. What's good, man? Eric Seriel is in the building. Mr. DJ is in the building. What's good? Good mornings, good mornings, good mornings. Knicks Live is in the building. What's good, man? I see you. I see you. Pudge Nice in the building. Wani Bucks, what's good? What's good, man? I see y'all. I see y'all in here. Yeah, man. Kerry Cox is in the building. Yo, Cox, I heard you on the joint last night. I see you. I see you, man. We got to get the number. We got to get a number. That's my goal for next week. My goal for next week is to get a telephone number set up so people can call in and rock with us. I heard you. I think it was on Nothing But Knicks. Yeah, man. And I think it was on Nothing But Knicks. I think I heard you on last night, man. I was so sleepy. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's my goal for next week. My goal for next week is to set up a line, maybe through Discord, where to come in crystal clear, so that we can rock. Dre, what's good? Dre, you think can we set that up on Discord where we could set the Discord up where we can get calls in through here? I don't know how to do it. I'll probably Google it after the show to see what I can do to get that set up, man, so that we can get calls coming in. Salute to Keith Turner. Keith Turner's in the building. What's good, man? Con Man is in the building. What's good, man? Yo, Jarrell is in the building. Hey, Jarrell, when you gonna invite me to the Giants show, bro? Yo, you think I can't talk Giants? You ain't gonna invite me to the Giants show, boss? What's good? I want to get on the panel, man, if you got a panel so we can talk Giants, man. Because my Bears suck. I don't want to talk about the Bears. I'd rather talk about the Giants and the Jets right now, bro. But anyways, let me get on it. Yo, Subliminal 209 is in the building. Bim. Keep an eye out for Knicks after party tonight at 11 with Subliminal 209 and the Cully Goat. And the Cully Goat. Yo, and Jarrell, I am Jarrell says we on every halftime during the game. I got you. Miss Geraldine is in the building. Miss Geraldine, did you light a fire up under your teammates? Yo, Paris Duggar says, you look like you're at the rock quarry, Fred Flintstone. LOL. Yeah, man, I got so much stuff. I got furniture moved around and a whole bunch of stuff. And the reason why I'm here is because while we renovating, I think somehow one of the wires got clipped in here. Like somehow one of the wires got clipped, maybe like at the breaker box or outside. And so the power is in a minute in here. So it's like I can't use nothing heavy. Like all my fridges, like I got 3 refrigerators, all of them off, lost all that food, right? But whatever. And can't use the stove, can't use the washing machine, all that stuff. Paying an electrician, the part that I needed, we have to. It's just a bunch of stuff. So hopefully by this time next week, we'll already be in full swing with stuff. Back in Studio G and all of that. Philip Casanovas is in the building. What's good, man? Let's talk about this game last night. There's no elephant in the room. There's no odd, uncomfortable subject. Let's talk about what happened last night. Let's talk about what happened last night. All right. So in my mind, what happened last night is we lost to a better team. It's just as cut and dry as that. Last night, we lost to a better... Yo, Worldwide L is in the building. Salute to Worldwide L. Yo, last night, we lost to a better team, right? Right? But here's the thing. How did we lose to that better team? Mr. DJ, how did we lose to that better team? Hoodie Kev is in the building. Hoodie Kev in the building. What's good, Hoodie Kev? Let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. Oh shoot, I got a Knicks shirt on. I have so much Mets and Knicks stuff, bro. It's either Mets or Knicks, bro. For me, I got some Bears stuff. I don't wear it as much. Danny Landis is in the building. Sherwin, what's good? Nick Slob says, we lost great, but we fought. Hoodie Kev is driving around. You Ubering? making some side money. So last night we lost, in my opinion, we lost to a better team. But yeah, yo, coach was good. Coach, I thought you was at Coach might be at work. I don't know if Coach worked like 90 hours a week. I don't know when Coach be working, when he not. I be wanting to send an invite to him. Coach might be at work. He might not. You know what I'm saying? You never know. That man does his thing. Yo, and I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Coach is fun as hell to hang out with. Right? Like coach in the chat be fun to hang out with. But what happened last night, man? We lost to a better team. They had a Ja Morant and we didn't. Right? They have a Ja Morant and we don't. They have a Ja Morant and we don't. There's nothing we can say about that. They have Ja Morant and a bunch of complimentary players that complement Ja Morant. Ja Morant looks like an MVP candidate to me. Ja Morant looks like a MVP candidate. Right? There were a lot of calls that went their way from the referees. That team last night, they got excuse me. Yo, Alexander Rivera was good. Sherwin was good. Eric Siriel in the building, man, was good. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Okay. All right, I got you, coach. Give me a split second, man. But I'm on my laptop, so I can't since I'm on my laptop, my signal strength is not as strong. So I can't have a bunch of people in. Like I could probably have like 4 at tops, because I'm not if y'all know anything about StreamYard, if you're not hardwired, then things get dicey. You get booted off a lot. So let me do this right here. All right. All right. All right, there we go. Yeah, so last night I saw a lot of calls that went the Grizzlies' way. The charge on Julius Randle, where the guy slid in and was doing the Dougie in front of Julius Randle. Watch me do the Dougie. And then Desmond Bane pushed Julius Randle in the back, and they called the charge on Randle. Yo, it's like, yo, how are you going to call a charge on Randle? First of all, the dude that he ran over was moving around. Oh, he was like the Matrix. Right? And then second, the only reason why he even went in that direction is because Desmond Bane pushed him in the back. What are we even talking about? What's good, coach?
What's up? What's up, Blorange fam? What's up, chat? Brother Freezy.
Yo. So, coach, I'm not making excuses about why we lost last night.
Mm-hmm.
But there was some real sketchy things about how we lost. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you this. Jalen Brunson had some, when you go back and watch the game, Jalen Brunson had some very unclutch moments late in that game. There was a 3-pointer he took, and from our view, he was at the bottom of the screen. He took that three when we in a tie game and missed, right? And then 2 possessions later, there was a 3-point attempt he had at the top of the screen where we were down by 3 and he missed. And see, I don't fault him for that because moments before that, he had a 3, or I think moments after that, he had a 3 on the wing and he made it. Right? Mm-hmm. And I don't fault him for it because he's not notoriously known as a 3-point shooter in the first place. Right? So, but there were moments where Jalen Brunson could have turned the tide and he didn't. But it's game one, and I'm not saying that he's unclutch.
Yeah, I mean, look, so sometimes shots don't.
Sometimes you don't.
Sometimes shots don't fall, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, on a positive note, because we didn't delve really deep into the. I mean, we tickled on the numbers a little bit last night, but I went into them a little bit more, and I tried to look for the silver lining in everybody from all the positives. I'm trying to stress today with the aftermath. I mean, one of the things that I was happy to see was with Brunson, even though he didn't make some of them clutch shots we could hope he'd make,
right? He
had 9 assists and 0 turnovers.
Yeah, and a lot of those assists, they were like, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of the assists he had were, you don't remember them. I just put it like that.
Yeah,
meaning he got a lot of assists. Excuse me, he got a lot of assists in the flow of the offense.
Right. Yeah, and in general, besides some sketchy, ugly, rough play, sometimes the ball gets kind of bounced around weird, and it seemed like a lot of them 50-50 balls they were getting.
Like that, like those 2 RJ shots. The one RJ's going to the lane and he just throws the ball up in the air. He lost it. You're like, RJ, what the hell is that? And then the other one, he came off the wing and was going to the basket and he lost the ball in traffic and Randle scooped it up and got the and one off of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, come on, RJ, man. What are you doing out here?
Yeah. And look, I mean, if any of y'all play sports before, you're an athlete yourself, or you do anything competitive and, try to win in what you're doing. I mean, when things ain't going right. So when RJ missed in that first quarter, he missed a couple of wide open threes. He knew he missed those.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden you start, man, I got to start making some shots. You know what I'm saying? Then you start getting in your head a little bit. You tightening up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he's still. I'm not to make an excuse for him. I don't care how old you are. At this point, he's played in the league long enough where
he's still a professional.
Yeah, you got to tighten that stuff up, bro. And the only quote unquote apologist excuse I guess I can make for him is just he's still a young man. You know what I'm saying? And he knows the importance of him playing better than that. And maybe it got in his head, you know what I'm saying, a little bit. Maybe he was forcing some stuff, trying to make things happen because he knew he didn't step up in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if three or four of them kind of bumper car layups, he was doing
right.
go in, his night don't look as bad,
Yeah.
Like Brunson started off sketchy early. And then in that last run in the fourth quarter where we came back and tied it up, Brunson was a part of that little run. He kind of got out of his funk. Then when it came to crunch time and we needed him to maybe do something to help us win, he faltered again, on those shots you were talking about.
Coach, I understand where you're going, but I got 2 things that I want to address. I want to get out ahead of.
Yeah.
Right? For For one, Jalen Brunson having a bad shooting night against a bad defender is inexcusable.
No, agreed.
Ja Morant, who is Ja Morant locking down? Right?
Nobody.
And think about this. If Desmond Bane and the other wing player are guarding RJ Barrett, then that is the time with Jalen Brunson. How is Jalen Brunson not taking advantage of Ja Morant offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think he could have went old school back down point guard on him. He did it once or twice, and I'm like, man. And you even said it while we were watching the game.
Yep.
Man, he needs to go back to that. You know.
Yep.
Because John Morant he's a hell of an athlete, and obviously he's explosive, he's fast, but he ain't stronger than Jalen Brunson. I think Brunson can bully him.
Right.
So I think Brunson, and see, those are the things that Brunson we like about him and his efficiency, in the paint, because those are what makes him efficient. Is he can make, especially if he's having a rough outside shooting night, he has enough skills around the basket to make shots, to make it look like he had a better night.
Right. My point though about Brunson and Ja Morant is clearly Ja Morant is the weak point in their defense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So to not exploit that weak point in their defense, to me is a strategic error. You know what I'm saying? Not an aggression error, not an error of aggression, but strategically, Ja Morant is the weak point. And if you were to get Ja Morant in foul trouble, this game is a different game.
Right.
You feel me? And so I want to point out that Jalen Brunson not taking advantage of the Ja Morant defensive mismatch like Ja Morant did RJ Barrett, right? Mm-hmm. The other thing I wanted to point out too is that I'm going to ask this, and I'm going to ask this from a neutral standpoint. This is me not stoking the fire. This is me asking an honest question. Is RJ Barrett the wrong guy?
I mean, if he shoots like that, yeah. But those shots were falling in preseason.
Right.
So everyone was talking about, like, can RJ keep up that 50% 3-point shooting that he had in the preseason? I mean, unfortunately, those preseason stats don't count at all. So, I mean, just like people got to say pump the brakes about Cam playing this well in this one game, I think the same has to be said on the other side. We have to pump the brakes on saying, can RJ be counted on? Because even though he did not have a good shooting night, I don't think defensively he was that bad. I mean, he didn't
RJ?
look that. I didn't think he looked. I mean, he didn't. That's a tough cover, bro, for him.
For anybody.
For anybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he didn't stay on him long. Obviously, they switched that up quick. But, I mean, he did rebound the ball well. He did. Right. He shot free throws well. He was 5 of 6. I can live with the missed threes and outside shots if he made those layups. Some of the problems we thought he had last year, finishing.
I could live with his terrible shooting night, period, if he didn't fumble the ball on offense and looked out of sorts.
Yeah, there was a lot of bobbling.
Remember him driving to the lane and then he's looking around. And Memphis has length at every position, so to speak. They started the dude 6'11". They started the dude 7 foot. They started the dude, what's the dude? The Conchar. They started Conchar. They started Bane. Everybody is 6'6" and up. Outside of Ja, of course. But I could live with a bad shooting night. But what bothered me is he looked disturbed by the length of the other team. Right. And so what kills me, what killed me was if you don't have a plan, get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a plan, let Julius Randle cook.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, last night could have been a justifiable night of Julius probably could have taken more shots. You know what I mean? Even though, like, you know, in that game when people were like, what else could Julius have done that game? You know,
Right.
He couldn't have provided any more than he was providing.
Right.
He did what everyone has been begging for Julius to do. He took what the game gave him and didn't force things. You know, his flow looked a lot better. Like he played in the flow of the game. Like he let the pace of the game dictate what he did. Like he didn't force it. He didn't slow it down. He didn't, you know, if anything, he actually, for him, he sped up the game, our offense.
Yeah.
Because of his decision. Like the times he did dribble up the court, he came across the half court and he would pat.
Yeah, he got straight into offense.
Yeah. Like he didn't do the jab step, you know, pull through, all that, he didn't do all of that stuff. I mean, a couple times, you know, any player that's got somebody on him he thinks he can take in the NBA is gonna do a little bit of that from the wing.
He did that one time.
Yeah.
He did that one time, and Derrick Rose gave him the stink eye, and Randle waved him off anyway and went to the basket and scored.
Right.
And so if you Derrick Rose right there, how the hell are you giving Randle the stink eye when y'all lost the lead? Yet you went up and down the floor 8 times with quickly and said nothing.
Right. See, here's the thing, too. Tom Thibodeau, what's up, Nick? Smoking Nick, what's good? Thibodeau, I think he gave everybody. He gave everybody an ample opportunity to showcase something last night. Like, he gave IQ and Obi a chance in a moment where we needed a spark, you know what I'm saying, to get back in the game. And unfortunately, they dug us a bigger hole. And then all of a sudden, that's when Cam and iHeart a little bit, you know, they started stepping up for us.
Right.
So I think, I don't know what he's going to learn from that. If he's going to have a knee-jerk reaction and be less tempted to go back to that, or maybe he'll have a shorter leash with that. You know, Wiz last night and maybe some other people said, oh, well, you got to take out, you know, RJ Barrett when he's shooting like that and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you can't that's an overreaction. You can't let one of your star players, you know, for your team, not to say he's a superstar in the NBA yet, but if he's one of your star players, one of your go-to players, you can't just give up on him that quick. You know, he's got to learn how to fight through nights like that and help in other ways.
Right. And your thing with RJ Barrett, this whole I always start the season slow thing can't be. That's unprofessional.
It's a sad excuse. It's a sad excuse that they constantly keep making. He's in year 4, right? This should be unacceptable. He just got $100 million, right? People was talking about our best player needs to take a step back for this dude to give us nights like this against the best teams in the NBA. It's unacceptable.
It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, bro. And so I'm not, and listen, I'm not bashing RJ, you know what I'm saying, like bashing RJ, but what I am saying is if one play could be critiqued, everybody can be critiqued. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can critique Randle.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I apologize
No, go
about
ahead,
that. And
go ahead.
I won't
No,
stay
go ahead.
long because I am at work. But I will say this. You said it yourself, right? If you having a bad shooting night, you should know to do other things. He was rebounding. He
Right.
don't like to assist the ball, right? He might make one assist in that or two assists, but he don't like to make plays for his teammates. He always thinking about himself. It's clear when you watch him play basketball.
Right. Right.
And we don't address that. We just ignore it that the man be having tunnel vision. How you go 3 for 18? Tunnel vision.
Right. Right.
I mean, I don't think he's making a conscious effort to be selfish. Like, I feel like
I think it's conscious. It's definitely conscious. Because if you miss
I
4
just think
shots
he's
in a
someone who
row,
thinks he's
why
trying
don't
to
you
make
pass
plays.
it to the people that's doing things, Coach? Julius
Nah.
was doing better than him. Cam was doing better than him.
Right.
Hartenstein was playing with mad energy and heart. I give you that. You caught that. But come on, bro. Like, I get you want to participate in other ways. Play. Now, how about you guard your man?
Well,
see, we can't talk about stuff like that. Oh, he didn't have that night because he guarded Ja. That he couldn't guard Ja. So why didn't he even put him on there? Was a joke. Laughable. I laughed the whole time I was watching it.
yeah. The whole thing is, as soon as I saw RJ go out on Ja, I'm like, Tom Thibodeau gives these kids too much autonomy to try to develop into themselves, right? And then other guys.
I thought he don't do that though, Freeze. I thought he don't do that.
You mean based on what you heard other Knicks fans say, right?
Correct.
Right.
I think he should have just put Cam on him.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is, as soon as you see RJ Barrett go out on Ja, you know Tom Thibodeau gives these kids freedom to be who they are, right? It is what it is, because you see Emmanuel quickly play point on the second unit with Derrick Rose, and you like, one dude is a former league MVP, and one could argue maybe a Hall of Famer in Derrick Rose, maybe, probably not likely, but I could see an argument for Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying? At least being in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I think I think Derrick Rose probably has like a 30% chance of making Hall of Fame, right? But anyway,
he's like the Gale Sayers.
Yeah.
Coach.
The Altoon. You remember Altoon?
Oh,
the wide receiver from the Jets.
88.
Yeah. The Altoon thing where when you're better than Jerry Rice for like the first 4 years, and then you start getting concussions. But anyway, my point is, how do you let Quickly run point with Derrick Rose in a second unit when one is a natural point guard, the other is a natural 2, but the natural 2 plays the point and the one is running around getting cardio? What's up, Wiz?
What's up, gents? Morning. Yo, coach called my name. I had to come and defend myself, man. I didn't say take him out the game. I said give him a minute. Let the assistant coach say to him. I'm not saying it was deliberate. He wasn't passing. I said I don't think he was fully conscious of it. I think he was pressing. I said he played 20 minutes plus in the first half, 1 for 11 with a charge. I'm saying somewhere in that 20-minute plus, at 8-minute mark, you go, oh man, 0 for 5. Yo, let's go to the bench for a second.
Get your head right.
Exactly. Just take 1 minute, send in a crazy pick, like I said, Deuce last night. Throw Deuce into the fence, Josh, for a second. Not much offense, possibly, but a crazy dynamic of a change of chemistry, and then RJ's on the bench. Brunson Senior sits down and be.
But
man,
Wiz,
you're good, son.
You said that, man, and we keep telling. If you put in McBride, right?
Okay,
what else in the line? What else in the lineup are you doing? Because if you have Brunson, Fournier, and McBride on the floor, now it's like, what are we doing?
No, let's take on McBride.
Right? And then if it's Cam, Quickly, and McBride, who's running the point? Because Quickly looks terrible at the point.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's pick anybody else. I think I'll put in Ferrer and Hunt.
Let's put in Coach.
Let's put in Coach. I'm just saying, just get RJ out for 1 minute to go. Rick Brunson, talk to him for a second, calm him down, find something, tell him, yo, start passing more, look for your pass, look for the rebound in, get your defense up. Something's off your shot right now. What can we do? What do you need? Let's go to the locker room for a second and just, get some form adjustment. Whatever it is, something in his head to make him get his mind off why he was pressing so hard. Because RJ, 3 for 18. I know he's inefficient, but something was way off with his game. And so something was off enough for him to go. Pull him for a minute. He was in the midst of the battle. Man, you don't see straight. And that's why it looked like he was being selfish. And something was off that, I'm just saying, 1 minute here, 1 minute there. I'm not saying take him out. 36 minutes, I'm fine with that. But 38 minutes is a minute he could have been pulled for a second. That's what I'm saying.
Wiz, I respectfully
This is the game
disagree.
where you pull RJ and you sit him 15 minutes, bro, 20 minutes.
I would,
because his defense was not
terrible.
Irreplaceable.
Oh, now my coach's side now. Now I got a friend coach now. Coach is right.
The thing is with that is it'd be different if he was forcing shots. Like he only forced that 1-3 to me. The rest were all shots that RJ Barrett needs to take. Like those open threes, the open jumpers, and them drives are all shots that RJ Barrett need to take for us. Period.
All of them.
Now he missed them. That's the problem here. Unfortunately, it don't make him a bum. It don't make him selfish. He just missed the shots tonight, and it sucks. And if that's the way he's going to be, then he ain't our guy. I can't defend him. However,
hold on, Coach. Can y'all hear me? Can I ask a question? What about that last 3 he took? That wasn't selfish.
Okay. That's the one he's talking about.
That's the one he's talking about.
That's the one he's talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a bad shot.
What about What about the layup when he got blocked? That wasn't selfish. After he took every shot, and every shot he took after being 3 for 11 in the first half was selfish. Period.
Was he 3 for 11?
You can't. I know you've played sports before. You can't think that way. You 3 for 11.
1 for 11 in the first half.
You ain't thinking about you 3 for 11 when you're going for a layup.
He was 1 for 11 in the first half, not 3 for 11. 1 for 11, even worse.
Yeah.
So that's my problem with a driving with a charge. So there was something off with his game, and I'm just saying, not 15 minutes, not 20 minutes, 1 minute here or there in the midst of that chaos of that first game. John Morant, you're the man, 120 million.
He trying to live up to the name of other dudes that he can't live up to. He not on their tier. He not in their class. It's just clear.
I think Smoking Nick, you just waiting for an opportunity today to just. You've always been an RJ hater, so you're looking to go too hard on him a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm holding him accountable because people have been making excuses and not holding him accountable at all.
But it's one game. I have held him accountable. I ain't making excuses for him.
I'm not talking about you specifically, bro. Okay. I'm talking about people in general. The last 3 years not holding him accountable, right? I'm not talking about how inefficient he is. He can't finish. He can't dribble. He ain't got no move. How can start one game and look like a better finisher and shooter than him? Why did that happen? Let's talk about it all.
Yeah, let me do this real quick. Hold on, y'all. So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says that was one of the most inexcusable losses. Choked. Thank you for that, Paris Duggar. We appreciate that, man. Go ahead, Nick. You were saying? Oh, I'm sorry, Wiz. What was you saying? Wiz was asking a question, right?
You both agree 15 plus minutes for our star player. The sets in the first game. You're okay with that?
Yes.
That's a little close to me.
Yeah. The reason, but you asked me the question.
Yeah.
So you asking me my opinion, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So me being neutral on this, right? I'm not going to give my opinion. I'm going to be neutral on this. If you sit Evan Fournier, because Evan Fournier is struggling, and don't insert him until the end of the game because he's struggling, then you have to sit RJ Barrett because he's struggling. It can't be a situation where you pick and choose who you hold accountable, who is accountable. He took Jalen Brunson out at the 6-minute mark because Ja was roasting him and JB was struggling. So if you take out your point guard because he's struggling and Fournier because he's struggling, how do you not take out RJ Barrett when he's struggling?
This is where I think the anomaly of this game, the reason why he was left in probably more than he should have, is number one, Grimes was out.
Right.
Okay. So regardless, is with the Cam, I know Cam might not have had as much opportunity if Grimes was in, blah blah blah. But if Fournier and RJ were having a rough game, then Grimes and Cam would have been in there. Now, and on the other case, because the other guy that can go in, say, in that role, you get, because the combination of him and Cam together would be IQ. But that mug was worse.
But he was struggling.
Right. So now we're looking at Tibbs now it's like I'm running out of dudes here.
Right. Now it's like pick your poison, right?
And now, and on the other hand, in a weird lineup, something that was weird that people wanted to try, let's try Obi and Randle together. He couldn't even try that because Obi was poo.
Right.
So it was like this weird kind of, not the right guys were stepping up in this game for Tibbs to be able to make that decision. There was too many people in that. Not even D Rose, because it didn't look good for the swing, the guards, like we said, last night a little bit.
Coach,
straight like that.
And let me do. Hey, Wiz, hold on. Let me do this real quick. So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says RJ has to show up on ESPN against Ja and Anthony Edwards. What I would say to that, man, is we just like RJ Barrett to be consistent. Can we get a level of consistency from RJ Barrett, right? Mm-hmm. Without it being forced. Why do the Knicks have to force themselves into an RJ only situation in order for RJ to be consistent? Why can't RJ Barrett play in an offense that wants to pass the ball and spread the ball around? Julius Randle adapted to it last night. And clearly you saw RJ Barrett when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he struggles to be efficient.
You know how go ahead.
Okay, boss.
You show RJ can show up Ja and Anthony and stuff. Al Davis said it. Win, baby, win. Just win. Just win. I mean, the coach just defended my argument about, okay, so RJ was poo, Fournier was poo, Brunson was struggling, Mitch was struggling, Quickly was struggling. He said Obi was struggling. So 6 of our rotation was struggling. That's my argument too. We go outside the rotation in this game. This is a game where you go outside with one player outside the rotation. I know you don't think Farron is ready. You don't think Shriv is ready. You don't think Deuce would have been anything. Deuce got crazy defense, but he can't shoot XYZ. He's too small. Point guard. Sims can't shoot. He's fast. He's athletic. He could have done something crazy with Ja for a second. Even he looked out of character and out of line. I'm saying go a little deeper into your bench and bring one player in to give RJ that minute or two he needed to have Rick Brunson or Johnny sit next to him and go, okay, guys.
I think they should have sat RJ like they sat Mitch for being in foul trouble. They should have sat RJ for being in shooting trouble. And that's not hate. That's the truth.
Probably. You're probably right.
But they can get away with that because they got Hartenstein behind them. Right now, they couldn't get away with that because, there's a fall off. And Tibbs obviously knew we had enough to stay in the game or come back in the game. Now, if the game was getting out of hand, obviously, let's put in Farron Hunt. But
it was out of hand. 19 points was out of hand for a second there, Coach.
But the thing is, he stayed with Barrett, good or bad, and we came back. So why did we come back? It wasn't because of him.
He didn't come back because exactly.
In spite of
he did not. He did not participate.
regardless if RJ was shooting well or not, he's still a threat to the other team. Still game plans against him when they're playing the Knicks.
No, that's not
So
true. I wouldn't game
have to.
I wouldn't game
Of
plan for
course, it's
somebody
true.
against that.
Come on,
He's
man.
not getting. Why would you game plan for somebody
bro,
that
you
misses
just so
all their
far
shots
with
they
it.
take?
That's wrong.
You're so far with that, bro. It's just too much.
But now the argument against
hey,
guys
so-
is this. Okay, is that game plan is against RJ and Randle and Brunson. What's the game plan against Sims coming in there or Deuce or Swerve or
you don't, but you don't, but Wiz, you don't game plan for situational players.
You don't.
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
No.
That's why putting them in there would throw them for just a momentary, little chaos for that other team.
Nah, no, it don't, bro. Wiz, if they were that good, they wouldn't be situational.
No, they're not that good. It's just a different little. It's just a little pebble.
Oh, but I'm saying that the reason why guys like Cam and iHeart and on their team, Almada and Contra take off is because they made a conscious effort to stop other people and make those guys beat them. So they decided to make things tougher for RJ, or RJ made it tougher on himself because how bad he was shooting. And they said, well, let's just try to make Cam beat us. Let's try to make iHeart beat us, and unfortunately they weren't enough to win for us.
All right. Hey, so Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, I'm OB and IQ Hive. They both played scared like punks. Wow. Okay. I didn't expect this.
I mean, OB looked a little defensively. He was kind of weird, and offensively, it just seemed like he looked uncomfortable. It was something like he wasn't. I don't know. I'd have to see the rotate of who he played with. It was like he didn't play with. Who was he on the court with? I forgot to look that up again, but it just seemed like he felt like he was like
IQ.
Yes, IQ.
Yeah, IQ and OB, but OB mostly like offensively. He looked like he was trying to do things he don't normally do a couple times,
Okay.
Because you guys call him out all the time, saying he doesn't do anything. So he's like, let me try something new today.
You watched Blorange Tears and heard her say,
exactly.
Try to back down and do a spin move. And look like
you guys, man.
A ninth grade dude learning post moves.
Yeah, against sixth graders. Yeah, but Hardwell, what's good, bro?
Yeah, what's good? Shout out.
What's up, brother?
Shout out to the panel. What's good, y'all?
What's up, peace?
Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing to it, man. We trying to figure out what happened to us last night.
Salute.
Hey, y'all, and just real quick. Hey, y'all, since it's 5 of us up here, and now I'm working off of Wi-Fi and not hardline internet. I'm gonna just keep it to 5 right now. Just do like a rotation of 5. So, just so for everybody just wanting to jump on, we're just gonna do 5. Just do 5 at a time.
I'm gonna put this last little thing out there, and then I'm gonna let Hardwell cook for a while, and some of you guys, because I probably only got about 5-10 minutes, and I want to bid on the auction for a 60-inch curved TV for only $120. So I got to pick that thing up.
Nice.
Man, you sound like a commercial, bro. What is you do daytime commercials?
My bad. No, but in my opinion, and I'm sure all y'all think, if you give us a grade on how we played last night, like for us to play, we did not play our best game in general. Some guys played a great game, but as a team, as a whole, it was not the best this team could play.
Okay.
And yet we were still in a position, even though they had an injury or two, they were the number 2 seed last year in the West.
Right.
And we played with them on a rough night away with some pieces rotating. And we still pulled it through. To me, there's optimism in that. So that's how I'm in finishing. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh, it was a great game. I feel like, I just wanted the Knicks to really fight and compete. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I got that last night from them. I said it last night on my show in reference to some of the shots that RJ took, and it's about just the whole team got to be like this, not just RJ. You got to be willing to make the play that's development. It can't be about your own personal stats. It should be about winning. So I feel like a lot of the shots he took, I seen a couple times when players were slashing, he could have made extra passes and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I
Yep.
didn't see him do it. I held him accountable for those things. I even said he cost us the game because if you take that many shots and we only lose by 3, which is a possession, then you got to call it for what it is. But I'm gonna say this: it's still only one game, and if you watch the whole season, different players gonna have they bad games. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully,
And good games. And good games.
and good games. Hopefully, he don't repeat that type of performance because of the point I'm making about this team has to share the ball, and they can't do like last season where they was forcing too much because of that situation. This is a different situation, especially having a game where Cam shows what he could do. Even though I knew what Cam could do, it's that in this situation he got to really show it. So I'm glad that he showed it because then it shows we have more depth. You know, we kind of without Grimes, like Coach was just explaining, he couldn't have took RJ out, and I think RJ was on the court when we did come back. You know, even though he made a lot of bad decisions on trying to force the issue, especially with that 3 y'all mentioned in the corner when it got blocked and Brunson grabbed the rebound and passed it to iHeart for the M1. That kept us back in the game again. So that shows my point. It's all about decision making. If he would have made a couple good decisions toward the end of the game, a lot of stuff we could have swept under the rug. But he continued to try to, but like we said, he's trying to win. They all was playing very aggressive. It's one game. I did give him the blame. You know what I'm saying? Randle had a great game, moving the ball. He didn't get caught up worrying about what everybody else was doing. He just did his part, which is good. Brunson stuck with it. He didn't start off that well. He started helping a lot towards the end, and I was very happy to see that somebody else started helping when Randle was fighting. Somebody else stepped up and started really helping him, and then Cam stepped up. I think that ignited different players to try to start stepping up. Even though everybody didn't make their shots, Cam actually did, and that's basically part of my take on the game. I'm excited to see what's to come for the team. They look like they're gonna fight harder than people expect. So that's a win for me. Either way, you lose by 3, that's a ball bounce. That's why I broke down RJ's stats and how it looked to me.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, Jen, my take is this. Competitiveness is what I asked for this season. I didn't ask for 50 wins, playoffs. I wanted them to look like a squad that's going to compete every night and be able to show that there is a future in this lineup. And now we need to filter out who needs to go or we need to add. So, but as long as we're competitive, as long as we're showing that this team actually at any given night can beat anybody, and it's not just the general NBA, anyone can beat anybody at any given night. That we have the skill set. So all I wanted is that, and we got it. I think we got exactly what we wanted. Well, I got what I wanted right now in last night's game. And so it just shows RJ on his normal night would have been on. Brunson was also off on a normal night. That means we had 10 more points we could have had, and 10 more points we could have stopped. And with the refereeing, 10 more points that wouldn't have been given away or prevented by us, which means that we're capable of beating anybody except perhaps right now the Warriors are the only ones that I'm worried about having a crazy squad that may dominate the league.
And I would say this, Wes. I think the solution to this issue, right? The solution to this issue is RJ at the 2 and starting a small forward that can contribute small forward stuff.
Facts. That's the efficient.
That's the solution. That's the solution to it all.
Absolutely.
So you mean Cam starting at the 3?
Where it should be, yeah.
I mean, I said that a while back. I would love to see something like that, but
Because
it
it
looked
gives
like
us a
we're
better
gonna keep.
defensive lineup.
Yeah, give us more length. But remember, they were saying they didn't want Cam in because he can't. They didn't think he had a bag or he could score the ball. But you just got to give him a chance. He could score the ball. It's just that
Yeah, he's a hooper.
a lot of plays yesterday, and even in preseason, I saw Cam look at quickly and say, "Give up the effing ball." And
Yep.
I said, I gotta pay more. I said, I gotta pay more attention to this.
Yeah.
And me and Worldwide L always talk about it. He is like, and I said, I play ball. You can't be on the court with somebody that you can make on fire 3 possessions earlier by overlooking them, because Cam got on fire and he was overlooked a few times. And I don't think that's fair, because we don't have nobody on the team that should be overlooking nobody, especially
Right.
if Randle is not. But that's
Right.
just a fact. If Randle is not, nobody should have the right to really do that.
And so my thing is, D'Angelo, how you doing, brother?
What's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up, D'Angelo?
My thing is
Hello.
this. It's as simple as this. When you see RJ at the 2, you see the best of RJ Barrett, right? The thing is, people say he's too slow to guard guards in the NBA. Yet, every time we play elite guards, he is the first to step out and guard elite guards. So if you hide him at the 3 because he can't guard elite guards, yet when you play elite guards, you put RJ Barrett on him, what's the point of not starting him at the 2? It's ridiculous. And then if it's just a thing of well, we need more playmaking offense at the 2. You telling me that Evan Fournier is a better playmaker, offensive playmaker than RJ Barrett?
Please.
No, they feel like his 3-point shot is better right now. And I think RJ can't do both right now. That's the problem. He can't score and play defense in the same game. He's not a full 2-way player yet. And I feel like that was the problem. When you playing against a guy like Ja Morant and you stepping up to guard him, you got to be willing to take less shots so you could be more efficient. You can't go in. Yeah, so you can be more efficient on defense and your efficiency on offense. You know what I'm saying? You could be better on defense and more efficient on offense because you're not taking as many shots, because you're using more energy on defense.
But the only way that works is if you take ball playmaking away from RJ, then you have to give more playmaking to whoever's playing at the 2 to compensate, right?
Facts.
And
I'm just saying why RJ is not what people expect him to be when he's playing against a Ja Morant. We know he's not on Ja Morant level right now, right?
Nobody is.
No, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm making a great example on how even last season when we first started, you remember we say he's coming out, he's going to be the stopper, the great defensive player. Then when he started taking on more offensive roles and on the team, he wasn't that great defender that we all, because he can't do both at the same time. He's not built for that yet. And I feel like when he has to play more on defense, or use more energy rather, playing against a more top NBA player, in your head, you want to compete with these guys, but you're not ready. You got to be able to stop these guys and still be efficient. He's not only there yet. He has to take less shots when he's guarding that type of a player, and he don't need to shoot like he shot last season, because Brunson, it's other reasons why I don't feel like he has to force as much as he did. You know what I mean? So
Sorry. Go ahead,
Angelo.
No, I didn't mean to.
No, I was gonna finish right there. Go ahead, bro.
But could RJ show up last night? Because he didn't show up. He did not show up. You just signed him to that deal. He didn't show up. Quickly didn't show up. Obi didn't show up.
Nope.
Nobody showed up.
Nope.
Cam showed up. He showed that he's a force to be reckoned with. I want to see more Cam now. I want to see him start. I don't think I'm saying anything out of school here. Fournier should sit, come off the bench. I don't want to hear about these contracts. He's on a contract year now that Cam wants to get his money. So let's do it. Let's change it up. The coach didn't go back to him in overtime. Go back to Cam. Go with the hot hand. He had it last night, Cam.
Right. Hey, let me just say this real quick, D'Angelo, because I have a question for you, and I think it's going to lead to something fascinating, man. But Harris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Harris Duggar says RJ is too slow to play at his weight. He's too heavy. So D'Angelo, here's my question for you, right? Based on what you said. So quickly and Obi didn't show up, right? Mm-hmm. My deal with Quickly and Obi is I think you have to break up Quickly and Obi, right? Because if you notice, Obi eats when Quickly is eating, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when Quickly is ineffective, Obi disappears, right?
Right. Right.
My deal is you have to pick one of them and play one, and the other has to be situational, right? At this moment, I would rather play Obi and let Quickly be situational, right? And it's not because I dislike Quickly. I love Quickly. Y'all know I love Quickly, right? I don't have to sing a slow jam up here today about Quickly. Y'all know how I feel about Quickly, right? Y'all know how I feel about Splash and Dash. That's what I call Quickly in RJ, right? But when you notice when Quickly and RJ play together, RJ's ineffective. When Quickly and Obi are together, Obi's ineffective. I think what you may have to do is separate them and figure out a way for Obi to get minutes with a real point guard, i.e. Derrick Rose or Jalen Brunson. And then you have to figure out a way for Quickly to play by himself where he can go get his by himself. Like maybe some unit of Quickly, McBride, Jericho Sims, some strange unit like that, like Wiz was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? But when other players are dependent on Emmanuel Quickly to thrive, they don't. They become ineffective. Hey, yo, I'm gonna step back behind the scenes real quick so that Dre can come in, right? Dre, I'm gonna bring you in, bro, just real quick. But y'all just take turns. Don't you know what I'm saying? Be going all crazy, talking all over each other.
Once you go freeze, we're gonna go nuts.
I know. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna bring in Dre real quick.
All right. Yeah. On that note, regarding Quickly, actually, I'm going to defend Obi first. Obi depends on a good point guard. Obi did not show up last night. Obi didn't have a good point guard to help him show up last night. So I'm going to give Obi a little break for last night. He was 1 for 3. He didn't get his shots off because he wasn't being
Why?
Because
don't give him a break.
Because he depends on a good point guard to help him.
I don't care about that. You got to figure it out.
Okay, you know what?
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's almost like Mitch. Mitch depends on a point guard to feed him, right? Mitch won't score except for offensive rebound, right? If you don't set a player for Mitch, you look at the player's strength and you play to his strength. You give them breaks because they're not being played to their strength, no matter who it is. So I'm going to say Fournier. If you're going to put Fournier in a position where he can't get a shot off, he's not going to score either because he won't be able to do his own shot. I'm going to give him that temporary break. I won't say he sucked last night. RJ was trash. Quickly was trash. Brunson played below his game, and Obi played below his game, but they weren't trash. Those two were trash. That's why the break is that I wouldn't call Obi trash.
I want to interject, but I'm going to say greetings to the panel. What up to y'all?
What's up, man? Salute.
Salute.
What I want to say is Quickly is not used to playing with players that have more than one skill. So, for instance, when he comes in the game and he gets a screen from Hartenstein is trying to pop, or he's like short rolling and expecting the ball back, and like he's running into him. Like Quickly is literally dribbling into Hartenstein. He's not used to just giving the ball up and moving and relocating and like being the secondary action himself. So like when he comes in the game with Hartenstein, it's just so clunky because they don't have any type of chemistry together. Like he's expecting Hartenstein to roll to the rim, but Hartenstein isn't a rolling big. Like he's not gonna go up there and catch lobs like that. So like when he's dribbling around in circles, it's like they're just running into each other, stepping on each other's toes. If quickly were to get like a pick from Obi, Obi will literally roll all the way out to the corner three or roll to the rim and get out of Quickly's way so Quickly can do things with the
But
ball.
his name is IQ, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have IQ as far as
Yeah, well, you a pro. That's unacceptable.
I mean,
Because even
It's the over.
Hartenstein is
It's the
throwing
over dribbling. Will it's the
throwing
over dribbling,
passes.
bro. He be dribbling the air off the ball.
And you
it's
got to
100%.
remember,
It's
like
true.
now you even got Hartenstein telling people to cut and throwing backdoor passes. You know what I'm saying? You got even L brought it up yesterday. You got Randle telling people to move, just not to even move out of the way, just to go what the flow of the offense was. And when Quickly came out there, I did see him running into people. He looked like a
Yeah.
baby Westbrook, like right
Yeah.
now though how Westbrook looked. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like it. I don't know. Like to me, when you in your head and you trying too hard when you just not making the play that's right in front of you in your face, then that's the problem for Emmanuel
He
Quickly.
not making the quick pass. Like if he doesn't see it come, if he doesn't see the play develop in the way that he wants it to, he'll hold on to the ball and
Yeah.
dribble until he gets what he sees. He gets what
Yeah,
he wants. And
yeah, but you know that.
that's not conducive to good basketball. If you don't see what you want, you swing it, you swing. You move it
That's
to the other
it.
side of the court.
But
There's no
yesterday
ball movement.
The Knicks had they had more fast break points yesterday, so it was like they was
Yeah.
pushing the ball and running together.
We played trash
And
for three quarters.
when Quickly's out there, he's just bouncing it instead of pushing it. And when you pass it, even Brunson, he passes the ball up the court to help start that break. Quickly rather run and dribble it and throw an alley oop when a pass up court is better to start the break. And that's what was going on yesterday with Cam Reddish and dudes was running. We had a lot of fast break points. Quickly
The
wanted to
only
keep
the
pounding the
only
ball
yeah,
and
the
pounding
only
the
way
ball.
the only way Quickly pushes the ball up early is if the big goes down there and seals. That's when he would like toss it over the top for Obi or Harnstein or whoever's sealing. But that's the only like way he sees an easy bucket when he gets the direct assist to it. He doesn't see it as tossing it up to the court. You might toss the ball up to the court to somebody in their 3-point corner and then reset the offense from there just to see if something's gonna happen. But he doesn't do that unless he sees like a direct assist coming out of it. He doesn't really
Yeah, that's
There
not
is
good.
toss it.
That's
there is
that's
no
bad basketball because when you see Brunson is already a point guard, but he don't have to dribble the ball all the way up. He knows that lead pass to start that break is valuable, and that's the problem I'm pointing out with IQ.
Yeah,
He's never really known that about because he does what he still does. He does what he does, and he always done that. You know what I'm saying? And Brunson, he need to look at what those type of players do because it's the little things. If he add the little things in with what he know how to do, then he could fix his game. You can't keep and everybody said in different ways, right? But they still talking about what they see about IQ they don't like. People say, oh, he's dribbling the air out of the ball because they see like he could have passed it right there, or he could have passed it right there. And just think about Brunson is new on the team and he'll get the ball at the other court and pass it up to start our team to start going. And we score a lot like that. You let the other team get back on defense, and that's what IQ does, dribbling the ball too much. And that's my last point on IQ.
yeah.
no ball movement. This team doesn't have any ball movement. They don't pass the ball around. There's no fluidity. There's no good offensive scheming. You thank the coach for that, not figuring this stuff out. Guys in proper roles. That's how you're going to win these games. And it's the same team I seen from last year. That's it.
I'm
season.
gonna keep it a buck with you, D'Angelo. Some players either have it mentally or they don't. I'm being absolutely honest.
Yeah. And what do we do about that?
Or they in their own way. They in their own way.
They're in their own way, but like the Warrior, like for instance, the Warriors only take on a specific type of player. If you look at their roster, it's a lot of heady, smart players that they usually bring in that know how to pass, dribble, shoot, you know? And if you have like a problem with that on your roster, you can develop it to a certain point with younger guys like IQ. He still has time to grow. But like the guys that are 25, 26, 27, you're not gonna break certain habits like that. And it's hard to like for instance, you mentioned Jalen pushing the ball up. Jalen has been a cerebral player for as long as he's been playing basketball, from high school to college to the NBA. Like he understands the game at a deeper level than IQ does, to be absolutely honest, and has won at every level generally. So it's hard to just say, well, he should be doing what Jalen Brunson does, and it's like he could pick up a few things, but I don't think you'll ever have the IQ that Jalen Brunson has, if that makes sense. Like I don't think you'll ever
That's why I
develop to
said
that
when I
point.
said players be in their own way because it's simple IQ. It's simple play. It's fundamentals. Moving the ball up. If you're pushing the ball, why would you take 4 more dribbles and your man is in front of you on the break with it and y'all got numbers? It's just basketball is common sense,
Yeah,
especially when you see IQ seeing somebody open and don't give it to them. Or you can see he just passed the Obi a lot. It's a
hundred
lot of
percent,
stuff that
hundred
points
percent.
out that way. It's just like, okay, if you don't know that stuff, it's not stuff that you can't pick up and add to your game. I think he just still caught up
Do
between.
you not? Well, Will, do you not go with the hot hand when Cam is playing the way he did last night? Do you not go with the hot hand into overtime? Do you not
Oh,
go with
that's
the hot
that's
hand?
that's on Tibbs too because he didn't give
Yeah,
him the sets or anything in overtime, and Cam was
yeah,
hot. And the last play when Cam hit the three, that play
right,
didn't look like it was designed for Cam. Cam just ran to the corner
And
and
then he
Brunson
took it
right,
got
over.
the ball and he made the shot. So
right.
I
Brunson
feel
found
like
it. Right.
he should have had a couple sets in overtime. That's another
No, 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 no.
issue.
That
But
you
your
talking about the
question,
play where he
but
tied it?
hold on for a second. But your
My
question in
fault.
reference to the following the hot hand, D'Angelo, is
Yeah,
100% correct. I don't care, and that's another point on the quickly topic because that should make his job easier if you coming
right.
in and you in there with rolls or you in there. Just move the ball, bro.
That's
Like
it. That's
that's what
it.
you're trying to
Correct.
see, and that's
Feed the dude you know scoring. Go ahead. For
feed the
sure.
hand. That's easy basketball. Like if I was even the
For
best player
sure.
on my team, and I know somebody else was feeling it, I knew that I was still gonna have a good game, and I wanted to win. So I'm gonna do me, but still look for that player. If I'm driving
Right,
and they start worrying about me, I'm kicking to him. That's
right.
that's just common sense in basketball for players that's really
That's right.
Literally, yo,
That's what I'm
Will,
saying.
literally,
not
bro.
have something
Literally
to do.
common sense, bro. Literally.
Yeah, but hey, guess what? A lot of players know that, bro. But that's why I was just trying to tell my guy that just came in. A lot of players be in their head and they still have something to prove, not thinking that what making that decision that we talking about, just a simple play,
Yeah.
gets the win, and then we notice that you helped make that play. You see what I'm saying? To make it just like I'm breaking down Brunson starting to break from all the way down court. That's crucial in us scoring fast break points. Passing the ball up. Quickly want to dribble 20 more times and then go in a circle like he pistol Pete Maravich. I don't
The,
get it.
the
Yeah,
the thing, like the most complex parts of the basketball, most complex parts of basketball is literally just chaining the most fundamental parts over and over again. Like we see Jalen Brunson do flashy things. He's literally doing big man fundamental big moves that looks so flashy. It's just literally chaining fundamental things that you're supposed to be doing anyway. It's just doing the right thing over and over and over. And a lot of these guys don't get it. Like they just don't get it. And as far as like the shot where you mentioned Cam like leaked out to the corner, if you remembered the Knicks against the Pelicans where Bullock hit that corner shot, it's the exact same play, and it was drawn up that way. Like he's supposed to leak and create confusion because Cam going into the paint will make the big man sink, and then they'll have to make a decision as far as who's going to close out. And if they come up on Brunson, Brunson's going to kick out to the corner, and it's basically the same play that Derrick Rose ran, where he came down the lane and then he kicked to Reggie Bullock in the corner, and we tied the game. It was basically the same play. Like it was drawn up for him to cut across the backside of the
yeah.
defense, and like and then it's a lot, but it was intentional for him to cut across
Now I
like
can
that.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying because Brunson drove in the middle to draw attention like he was going to lay it in. It
Yeah.
was like a driving kick play. That I saw that. But another
And then
thing
they
I
had to stay
noticed,
home on the other shooter. And if you bring the help, someone's going to be open. So he had the split second of daylight to get that off.
and in the last second too. So it was like it looked like a broken down play kind of. But another thing I noticed that the Knicks don't stay on their feet. Mitchell Robinson is jumping too early when you playing like Ja. I'm not saying you especially you don't want him to dunk. He wasn't in the position to dunk on Mitch, but Mitch left his feet way early and he just could lean his body in and draw the foul. Mitch could just get big and then jump a few seconds later and block those shots. But
I agree.
I think that was the problem why he was in foul trouble. Brunson, he jumped 3 times in one play on a fake. A lot of players on our team got to stay on their feet and just keep your hands up. You know what I mean? You keep jumping, and then they do a ball fake and they go right by us.
Because I
So
remember last year he played against Memphis, and Mitch probably had one of his best defensive games against him last year. And then he comes back and like it looks like he lost everything that he learned last year because he wasn't jumping as much. Like he never got in
that's
as much
true.
foul trouble last year. And I remember vividly. We went to Memphis last year. Mitch had one of his best defensive games, like blocking Josh shot like several times. Like
I
Josh kept trying to challenge him.
I think certain players on our team, especially this year, they got to settle down. They're gonna have to settle down, being that all what they went through. Not making excuses for nobody, because we still gonna call it out how we see it. Ain't nobody could protect you if you go out here shooting crazy like RJ did. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sugarcoating that bad performance. Um,
Everybody got
hopefully,
something to
Rand.
prove. It feels like
No, yeah, and that's
coming
the
into
thing. You
this
got to
year.
put
After
emotions. You got to
But
put
on the same point,
emotions.
on the
You
same
got to
point,
put
guys.
emotions aside because they got a lot to prove this year. And I feel
On the
like
same. Go
you
ahead.
all can't. And y'all all saying this person ain't play good, right? But check it out. I meant to say this before. When certain players play good, everybody ain't gonna have that type of night. You know that, right? Because when Reddish play good, somebody else ain't gonna play good because he's staying on the floor. So you got to take that into consideration. You can't start naming players for not playing good unless they shot the ball a lot and they didn't make shots. Like when we talk about what RJ just recently did. Besides that, other players that didn't really do a lot, they didn't have a lot of time because they had to go with the hot hands. And Tibbs made a lot of adjustments, and he stuck with the players that was giving us the best opportunity and chance to win. You got to say that. You know what I'm saying? We lose
Yeah.
by 3. That's a ball bounce. Anybody could have won that game.
On
I
the, on
mean,
the
I
same,
mean,
on the
there was
same
a
topic,
swing
though.
play. There was a swing play when Brunson got fouled. That 4-point swing that could have won the
True.
game. Or the 3-pointers
And
that Brunson
Brunson
had in the
shot that
corners.
3 too.
He had 2 corner threes that he missed in that
Yeah.
OT.
Mm-hmm.
But some things within our control,
But
guys.
why Tibbs didn't go to Cam in OT?
I was gonna
thank
say
you.
that's
That's what
my
I was
point.
saying.
Exactly. Now here's a point. The same
And
argument
I
you do.
felt like when
Both.
Randle fouled out, we was in trouble, honestly.
They should have
All
never
right.
went
I
to
think we had a
Fournier
chance.
at the 4, man. They should have never done that. They should have brought somebody
But
else in.
Yeah, Fournier was not good at the 4. You
the
right. I
same
forgot they
argument,
did
though,
that.
by the way, guys, with
Go ahead, go
Cam
ahead.
Yes,
going
Sarge.
with a hot player. Going with a hot player is one argument that yes, we have control of that. We also have control of staying away from the cold player. We could have had RJ minimize his shooting by coaching. We could actually set place and not have RJ take those shots. I know you're playing him missing the game, and he's taking himself. But there are ways to control. Go for the hot player, but also avoid the cold player. The other
Yeah,
aspect is
yeah.
go
I
ahead.
was gonna
Yeah, but
say
that's on
I'm agreeing.
RJ more than
I'm
Tibbs,
agreeing with
though.
you. I'm agreeing with you with that as far as that. But it's almost like the foul disparity was just so ridiculous. Like every ticky tack call would go to Ja, and like
Yeah, it would.
RJ would
You're right.
drive into the paint
Absolutely.
and he would get mauled and he would get
Yeah.
nothing. So it's just like
Because you know
RJ
why?
was trying to live at the paint, like he was trying to live at the free throw line because he went 5 for 6. So if he would have got more calls, he would have like filled up the stat sheet with maybe 10,
But
10 points just off free throws. But
that's
he
what
Did
had
happens
nothing
anybody
to
think
when you
that
call.
was a
forcing.
goaltend?
But that's what happens when you forcing your hand, though, bro. Like when you
I
keep
believe.
forcing, the refs ain't calling that, bro. That's the problem. And I feel like you could say, like Sarge, you could say that was coaching, but I feel like if you on the court, you got to make the right play. And if we watching and we see other plays, he could have just gave the ball up to create an easy bucket, and we only lost by 3. That's on the player. Now Tibbs supposed to have made a decision after he let it go on that long. I could say that.
Right. That's
But
what
at
I
the
mean. That's what
same
I'm talking about,
time,
the coaching
some
part.
of them play, and Tibbs probably expected him to do those type of things because he's capable of doing those type of plays. You see what I'm saying? Especially
I'm
when it's
sorry.
really not your night. See, this is the main point I'm trying to make. When you're on a team and you got guys like a Cam Reddish and Randle and Brunson already having a night, it's not your night tonight, RJ. That's simple.
Simple.
Yep.
Try to help your team in other ways on the defensive end when we really needed you. And now that you still going to the basket, you could have created another way instead of forcing those shots. The
He couldn't
ref,
even do that right.
the ref is not going to give you the call because you're
All right.
forcing the issue, bro. So you
And
Right.
can't
RJ
blame
does
it on
not
the ref.
RJ does not finish in the crowd. Also, that's a part of his game that needs to be better. He needs to be stronger where he needs to be able to finish even after being fouled. You watch. I mean, I know Jaw's a freak of nature, but look at that charge and still had the body control to score that basket that he charged into Brunson on. RJ does not have that kind of mentality of when I get fouled, I'm still gonna get my basket. He actually almost looks for the foul and then somehow throws his shot off to a
I mean,
level
that's a
that
different
he
level of
doesn't finish.
athleticism, man. Like
There's a
you
part
gotta
of
you
that,
gotta
but it's
call a
also
spade a
part of
spade.
but there's a
Like
part
he
of it also
physically
where
can't
he
go up
doesn't
like that. Yeah, go ahead, go
but
ahead,
there's
go
a
ahead.
part
Go
of it
ahead.
where he doesn't finish. He doesn't quite go for that finish. Although strong enough where I want the foul and one. I don't think he thinks and one all the time. I think he's like, I'm gonna get the basket or I'm gonna get fouled. Not I want both. The other part of this, and I'm gonna throw it out to Hardware and you guys. When I played basketball and I played Division III, so I wasn't like top notch programs, but every player on the team had some kind of set play for them. Even player 15 in the NBA, I should think. Something I think maybe we could have still thrown a play out there. Again, I'm not gonna labor the point too much, I've already done too much. But there's some point in that game where when you sit RJ for a minute to get his head right and say to him, yo, you just took 10 shots this first half, you hit one, you took 11 and hit one, and you did a charge. At some point in that first half, after minute 8 of the first quarter or minute 8 of the second quarter, you put somebody in. I didn't care who it was, whether it was Sims or Siv or Deuce or whatever, just for that 1 minute to get RJ's head right. And that player is still capable of doing something if your team is a team. You have all preseason, all practices to run a play for even Ferret Hunter never played one for him at some point in the season where you have it. I'm not saying do it all the time, but have a play set for Ferret Hunt. Have a play set for for Teals. I don't care. I mean, I know he's a
You know
G
they
League.
look at film though. They look at film from the last
Yeah,
time
all the time.
they
Right.
played them, and RJ did decent against Morant in the
Right.
Garden. I remember that, but it's all about adjustments. I don't really see who they would have plugged in. I did. I
One
do
minute,
Yeah,
remember
but
they
Hardman, 1 minute.
remember because Grimes is out. Um, it's like I don't know. It's like I understood why he came back in and he played. He was on the court when they came back too. So it's like I always say this. I always say, even if I said he shouldn't have kept shooting. So I'm just saying when you coaching, when a certain five bring you back, even if you see he's not doing what other guys may have been doing, like the Cams and Randles when we came all the way back, he's on the floor, he's doing something. And if we go on a run, we's down by 19 and we go on a run. So we played a lot of good basketball. The problem for me is our team. Why we can't come out the way we come back?
thank you.
Why we
Yes.
can't come out the way we
Yes.
come back? Why we can't be up 12 and
Hell
then
yeah.
throw a couple haymakers to finish
That's
it?
what.
You know what I'm saying? Why we gotta come back
But
down 19
well,
and then send
They
it to
come out
overtime?
flat. They came
Like
out
this is
because
flat.
the 2 for 11 contributed to us being down 16 hard.
It don't matter, but you gotta
No,
dig
But
yourself out to get paid to do that.
remember that's through the course of the game. We already broke down that some of them shots could have been better plays, but we still only lost by 3. So we talking about like
No, I'm not talking about the full. I'm talking about first half. You said we didn't start as well as we could have, right? Those that contributed to us being down 16. That he was taking. Not that. No, I don't even think some. I think the second half shots was worse than the first half shots. First half shots he was just missing, fam. Like he was wide open, just missing. So I can't get mad at you for being wide open and missing it. But when you start forcing it after you wide open and missing it, like my whole thing is like, if you wide open and you missing, all right, I get that. I'm not mad at those. Those was good shots. But you can't then start compounding that pressure by forcing it when you wasn't forcing the shots that you missed. So you can't force the shot. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The shots
Yeah,
that
but
you missed was
Hardwell's
open,
point
and then
is, how do you come out flat for this game? You're coming out. You're not playing. You're coming out flat.
Hey, hold on, man. Y'all, hold
It's
on.
because they want to run a system and not through Randle.
Y'all doing my super chats dirty, man. I had a super chat sitting up here for like 20 minutes. Yo, Paris Duggar, thank you for this generous contribution. That the panelists that just sat here and looked at it, they say nothing.
My bad, Freezy. My bad, bro.
Yo, the super chat was just sitting here dying on the screen.
I thought that was an old one. My bad.
Yeah, man. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution, man. He says IQ was the best second guy last year, so back off. Yo, this was crazy. I was like, yo, I put it up there. I was flashing it, blinking.
Don't worry,
maybe that's why we didn't read it.
I'm asking $2, Freaky. Don't worry about it.
Maybe that's why we didn't read it. That wasn't a good one, Paris.
He'll get over it.
What I'm getting at is that, yo, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to get in, like, mix up the passion or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? We got to realize that, man, people is contributing to the conversation from all different directions. Just because they ain't on the panel don't mean they ain't in the conversation. But I'm here to,
facts.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm about to back up out the way but yo, when they jump on, bro, just at least be like, yo.
I'll read it next time. If it come up again, I'll definitely read it. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure your super chat is a good one. You know what I'm saying? Because we may not see it. It may just be hanging there, like, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what that is. But what I was going to say, SK.
Let's say, to make up for that super chat ignoring, let's spend the next 5 minutes dissing it. That was a trash super chat.
Nah, don't do that to Paris.
I know. I love Paris. I just joke with him. He's my boy. I love Paris.
Right? He's gonna make the $5 one next and try to say some fire. But yo, what I was gonna say to SK was, right? SK, I know RJ mixed. You gave his percentage in the first half, right? But if I can remember, Memphis came out the right way against us. Like, I think they had us 8. I forget what it was, but they came out. Like, Ja Morant hit his first threes. It was like we didn't come out with that same energy. You know,
they hit 11 threes, and they're not even a good 3-point shooting team.
Because I could go and look at it and see. I'm not, I know RJ did miss some shots in that quarter, but he didn't miss every shot. You know what I'm saying? To answer what you were saying. So it's just like, basically, I already said what I didn't like about what he did. The main point I'm making is the Knicks got to really try to come out like Memphis came out, because we always fighting to come back, and then we take the lead, or we be in the dogfight when we was already down by 16. You know what I'm saying? Or we be up by 16 and then lose the lead and lose.
We had like a bunch of defensive breakdowns on like guys making their first start in the league hitting threes on us. Like,
that's what I said.
They hit like 11 threes in the first half, and they were not like a top tier 3-point shooting team last year. They were like the bottom third in 3-point shooting.
Those are 2 new guys too, though. A second-year player and a rookie.
Yeah, because they're like missing their 2 key guys too. So, and then what's his name? Bane, like his back injury flared up from last year. You could tell like he wasn't himself, and he was just walking up and down the court stiff. So they had to get contributions from players they weren't really considering like that. And that's
so what you're saying is they were down 4 players and we still lost to them. Is that what you're trying to say?
2, and then towards the end maybe 3. Yeah, Bane in the fourth looked bad.
Oh, hold on, I gotta read this super chat. D'Angelo said, "So sorry, Paris." Another thing I want to say, Paris Duggar said to you, SK, RJ is a little overweight. Give him a break.
Wow.
He said his face looks heavy. He said his face looks
heavy. Tell that man to go get Weight Watchers.
I mean, that's not fair. That's not fair to RJ.
RJ look a little heavy in the face.
The thing that Tibbs be asking RJ to do is kind of unfair. Like who in the league is asked to guard Jason Tatum than asked to guard Ja Morant? Who in the league is asked
Look,
to
if
do
you
those
take on
stupid
the
things,
challenge,
right?
take on the challenge. That ain't no
I mean,
excuse.
no. It's not an excuse because our roster, we probably don't have anyone else that would do it. Maybe Cam, but if Grimes is out, like RJ is our best hope.
That's the point. They were saying
That's
take RG out, but Grimes wasn't there. Oh, we got another super chat. Sean, what up, Sean? Shout out to my guy Sean. He said SK sound happy. RJ had a bad game. What kind of fan?
Oh, I
SK,
can't
you
hold
want to
my man
reply to that?
accountable for going 318 and being the reason we lost.
No, he said you sound happy that
he was
RJ had a
When did
bad
when
game.
did I say hooray or hurrah that they had a bad game? I said I'm holding him to the standard he holds himself to. He's supposed to be an all-star. He's supposed to be the face of our team. He got to show up. Can't disappear at all.
that's fair.
I feel you.
Sound like I'm happy? Then yeah,
But
I'm happy.
can
Take
I ask
time
you
if you
this
want to
though,
take it,
SK?
but I'm
Can
just
I
gonna
ask you
hold
this,
man's
SK?
accountable like we was holding everybody else accountable for slowing up our
SK,
offense and every other BS excuse they have.
SK, you know why he's saying that? And I'm gonna tell you this from me, right?
I know why they
You know
saying it because
one
I'm
thing.
going hard on you, man.
No, it ain't about that. I already said what I had to say about it. So my takes is gonna be on point regardless. RJ is not my personal friend. You act like Julius Randle is your personal friend. So what I'm saying to you is,
No,
right,
that's not true.
do one game, hold on, let me finish. Do one game decide a player?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. End of discussion for me.
But we've had 4 seasons of
Nah,
RJ,
that's
so we
it.
know
I'm
what he
good.
is.
Yo, long as you said it you don't got to justify. That's the only thing I wanted to know, because remember what I said earlier, Randle gonna have some games where everybody don't love him. As long as he have most of the games like he did
No,
last night,
you
I'm cool.
100% correct, fam. You
Yeah, it's gonna
100%
be
correct,
like
fam.
that throughout the whole NBA season. So that's what I'm saying. And what Sean's saying, you got to think about that, because I'm not going to be like that against a player that I think, wasn't doing good last season. I'm gonna give him a chance. And if RJ had a bad game,
This how I take it, fam. You going against your competition. Y'all got drafted in the same draft. Y'all supposed to be superstars. You gotta show up. You
Nah,
can't not show up.
man, RJ is not in the same planet as Ja. I'm gonna keep it a
yeah, he's
stat.
not a superstar. Why you say that, SK?
It's obvious. It's obvious.
But we never
So why
saying
you
he a
holding him to that
superstar.
superstar standard then?
Because he's
My take
supposed to be
was
our superstar. He's supposed
my
to. Period. He's
We
supposed to be the
want him
face.
to
He
be.
just got his soccer deal.
We want him to be, but he's not
I
paid
mean,
like a
that don't got
superstar
nothing to
either.
do with. That's politics, I mean, just because he getting other deals and stuff, that's just politics. That's business. But at the end of the day, he still got to show up. Like I said, it's one game, and I don't think one game is gonna decide. I think he got his money already, so he should be playing with no pressure. I mean, I don't know, like how you
I
guys. I
just
can
want him to
understand
come
why he
out.
said what he said, because it seemed like people want him. It's like narratives. I don't want Randle to fail just because I covered his games and I said I didn't like how he played. First chance I got a chance to cover Randle when he was doing the right thing, I praised him. Everything I did, I gave him credit to the highest power, because you can't critique good basketball that way. And it's like one game ain't gonna decide that, man. So when you come out that way, that's how it sounds. That's why
No,
Sean said that.
I never said this was gonna be his season. I just said he cannot him disappearing is unacceptable. Period.
Freezy, you muted. You muted, Freezy.
That's not really all you said, bro. I think you were dragging some stuff, and I think the stuff that he did wrong, he can't
Oh
continue
yeah,
to do.
I definitely dragged
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I just wanted to jump in and say that to that part. As far as the conversation go, I don't know if I'm really into that one, but what I will say though is this:
Into what?
Julie, whether RJ is a star or not,
Okay.
compared to Zion or John Morant,
No.
and so to me the conversation is unfair, because you compare the 3rd pick to the 1 and 2 pick, when I think we should compare the 1 and 2 pick to the rest of the NBA. Like for instance, just to say superhumans came out of the RJ Barrett draft is not fair. When if I ask you specifically, is there another Zion in the NBA? All of y'all are going to say no. If I ask y'all if there's another John Morant in the NBA, all of y'all are going to say no. But we expect another Zion, another Ja to come out in the RJ draft. Like, should RJ Barrett be compared to them when nobody else in the NBA? There is no other Zion Williamson type player in the NBA on any other team, period. There is no other Ja Morant type player on any other NBA, period, regardless of draft. So when we keep comparing RJ to that, it's not fair because it's not like there are others walking around that are comparable
But
to
it's his
them.
drive class, Breezy. It's his drive class. We got to compare him
And
to
that's
somebody.
that's why that comparison makes no sense.
It's true. Those are superstars, and he's
Those
not.
are superhuman. How many other 280-pound dudes do you know that might be a top 10 fastest player in the NBA? Name one other one, and then I'll go with you on the RJ thing. Where is there another 6'7", 280-pound dude with the foot speed and explosiveness of Zion? And then I'll have the conversation with you about RJ.
I think it's narratives, Freezy. You know why?
Right.
If Zion wasn't hurt, I mean, when Zion was hurt, people were saying that they happy we got RJ. Now Zion is back, and it's like, oh, Zion going to do that. I mean, I feel like everybody still got to play the game and build a resume as far as the players we talking about. You know what I'm saying? A few seasons.
But Howard, I understand what you're saying, but why can't RJ use his superpower, which is being an all-around player, high IQ player?
Mm-hmm. That's his own power.
Right. So why are we comparing RJ in foot speed and leaping ability when clearly RJ Barrett is an all-around player that is very high IQ on offense and defense? Now, is his decision-making questionable? Yes, because he should be passing the basket based on that IQ. He should be passing the basketball more, but he's not a willing passer, right? What I'm saying is what I'm saying is this: while we're talking about why is RJ not as good as Zion, we know why it is. It's genetics, right? But the conversation I think we should be having is Julius Randle was on the verge of having two major meltdowns in that game. And the one and the first one, Randle had a woosah moment like, oh, I can't have a meltdown. You saw Randle struggle internally, like, I can't have a meltdown right here. You saw him do it. He went to the ref walked away, and he was like, oh, it's like last year over. And then he calmed himself down. The other time, Hartenstein went to Randle. Randle slammed his hands and Hartenstein went to him and slapped him on the butt. Hey, big fella. And Randle looked at him and then started smiling. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Hartenstein one I thought was childish. You know what I'm saying? But you do whatever it takes to help your man, to support your man, right? Right? The Hartenstein one, Randle was about.
At least Randle was cool. You know what I mean? So
it's only going to get worse during the season, though. It's only going to refester.
And I understand where you're going with it, but the point, D'Angelo, I'm getting at is last year Randle wouldn't have had the awareness to understand that he was having a moment. Last year he would have just had the moment. This year he at least recognized he was entering into the moment and did something to try to stay away from that moment.
Like running out of the room for a minute to just go, oh, okay, hold on.
That means he got help. And he got ways to, change his mood and to get out his head positively.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When things wasn't going his way, he was about to get into a moment, and he woosah. You could see him when the referee walked away. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Then that call, he ran and then he stopped. Like he caught himself in tracks. Like it's like a woosah. Like I remember that.
That was the third one. You remember the third where he got the fifth foul, right? That third moment, Randle was like, "Oh, they trying to get me to get in this moment, man. I'm cool. Everybody was like, "Yo, you good? Hey, man, I'm cool. I'm good." So instead of talking about why Zion Williamson has a 48-inch vertical, or why Ja Morant has a 46-inch vertical and is blazing fast, and why RJ doesn't, we can't speak to genetics, bro. Those guys are super athletes, and RJ is not. There is, no matter how much we talk about it, there's no way for us to fix that. Right?
Yeah, but he got to know that, Freezy, though.
Right.
Like,
Right.
that means he's in his head, if you ask me.
So my RJ?
Yeah, because those players are who they are, and he still got to be who he is, like you were saying. Like, he's a
But
smart player.
RJ said that, though.
Huh?
RJ said that when the interview, the sit down interview
Mm-hmm.
for the Puma release with CP for Knicks Fan TV,
Mm-hmm.
right? RJ says, I'm not the greatest athlete. I have to work twice as hard as everybody else to get the same result. And that's why I work so hard. RJ said that in an interview.
So
yeah, go back. If you go back and watch that interview, yeah. RJ Barrett said that. He was like, I am not as athletic as those other guys. That's why I work twice as hard as those guys.
But Freezy, how do you, in that situation, and you box, you play sports, right? In that situation, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to outsmart those guys if you're not as gifted or athletic or as talented as those guys, right?
But that is RJ's. That's RJ's natural superpower. That is his talent.
What?
High IQ.
But IQ is a part of decision making, Freezy. That's my point I'm trying to make. He's not making the right decisions, but I keep forcing his shots. If you're smarter and you're saying you're not on these guys' level, why go out there and still try to prove it?
Right. This is the thing. This is the conversation that I was trying to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, what you just said.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with Ja Morant or Zion Williamson. It has nothing to do with that.
I know that.
It has nothing to do with
we
draft
can put
class.
them over there. I agree with that.
Right. Or yeah.
It's
So
all on RJ Barrett. He should know if he's saying that out his mouth. He should know and make better decisions and have better games.
Right. That's the thing. That's the conversation that I think we should be having, because no matter how much we talk about somebody else vertical, RJ Barrett will never have that.
Facts. I agree 100%. And that makes a lot of sense to me. Facts.
Right. So what we should be talking about is exactly what you just said. And so what I'm telling you is I think RJ Barrett wants to be a star so bad that he's pressing.
I feel that too.
Yeah, that's I say he's in his head.
Right.
Right. Because I want to jump in.
Sure,
RJ literally under 20, like he's one of the most decorated athletes like ever for under 20. If you look at his like awards that he's gotten, he has like almost a dozen like individual awards for being very good at basketball. So when he gets to the next level, he wants to continue playing to that level. He wants to be in the upper echelon of the league, but there are certain things holding him back from being that. So like he has an ego, he has an arrogance about him, because you don't become that good at the lower levels without having an ego and feeling that you're on this level. Like he was ACC best player of the year.
Yeah.
Like as a freshman while playing with Zion. So like he's won national championships in high school. Like he's won like outstanding players in high school. Like he's been decorated. He's won internationally gold medals under 19.
Right.
Like he's decorated.
Right.
He led that team by himself, the Canadian team. So
because will and determination and high IQ will get you a lot of places where physical talent won't. Right. It's the reason why cats like Floyd Mayweather, who in my opinion is probably an above average athlete, right? He's not the fastest or the quickest. And I know y'all are gonna say, no, Floyd is super fast, he's super quick, No, he's not. What Floyd has is high IQ and people that know how to teach the game.
Yep.
Yeah, and all these things. He baits you into doing what he wants you to do, and then he counters it based off of what he wants to do. Right? It's if you ask me who is the most impressive athlete, Zab Judah or Floyd Mayweather, I'm telling you, Zab Judah is the most impressive athlete. Who is the better, most accomplished boxer? Floyd Mayweather, because it's about the chess game and all these types of things. But for instance, RJ Barrett's game last night was this. Memphis likes to play a physical style of defense, right? I like to go to the basket and go to the free throw line. These two things go together, right? I can get to the free throw line as much as I want against Memphis because they're physical, right? But the referees didn't call that type of game, right? The referees called a ticky-tack game early on. It's why you saw Mitch in foul trouble. It's why you saw Julius Randle get fouled out, right? It's why you saw so you saw all these different types. We didn't know what type of game we were watching, right? So my point to RJ is, if you saw this early on that you were not going to get foul calls, you should have been passing the basketball.
Should have pivoted.
Right? Yep, you should. Yep, early on, you should have pivoted, right? Let me do this real quick. So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says super chats is support. One love to all the pods, man. And Paris Duggar, we love you, bro. You know that.
We love you, Paris.
Yeah, we got mad love for Paris Duggar. You know what I'm saying? For his comments, you know what I'm saying, and all of that, man. And SK says, I'm not happy RJ had a bad game because we lost. I'm just saying we need to face reality. He's
what's a jag? What is that?
Yeah.
SK, you coming with that Cali swag, talking about a jag? Come on, bro.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
I posted something in the private chat, Freezy.
Understand? Where my man said, "What's a jag?"
Yeah. Hey,
you $5 to make everybody not understand what you said, bro. Come on.
Hey, Dre, I'm on the laptop, man. I can't hardly see you.
Okay.
Yeah. So my bad. It's just inconvenience, but we gonna rock. But my point to Hard Will is RJ Barrett is a better overall player. Like for instance, RJ Barrett's defense in my mind is better than Zion and better than John Morant, but we rarely speak to that, right? RJ Barrett, unlike Zion and unlike John, RJ Barrett doesn't get superstar calls. So when RJ Barrett goes to the free throw line, you can best believe he earned that. When RJ Barrett get a call, he earned that, bro.
He's starting to get those Carmelo calls where it's just like he gotta be abused to get.
He gotta die, and you gotta revive him on the court in order for. SK says RJ Barrett is just another guy. Shout out
another guy. Okay.
Yeah. So, shout out to SK.
It's my guy. He's funny. You got me double back. He said just another guy.
Yeah, and so my thing with RJ, you know he's not going to hit you with a sweet floater. You know he's not going to cross you over and go to the rim and yam on somebody. RJ Barrett is a dump truck on a narrow street. You know what I'm saying? He going to the rim and everybody taking contact when he going. You know what I'm saying? And he's not gonna get like those type of calls, right? But the thing is, RJ, when you know you're not getting that and you see the guy there open, like you saw Mitch there for 2 lobs in the first quarter and you didn't throw him, right? You saw Mitch, and you saw Mitch as soon as RJ went to the rim on the first one, Mitch pivoted and ran down the court because he was hot. He like, yo, I'm banging down here with these dudes and y'all not passing me the ball. And you like, 0 for 7. You 0 for 7 and I'm open for the lob. Y'all don't call plays for me. I do all the stuff that, you know what I'm saying, you want me to do. And then when it come time for me to catch this body, you won't even let me get my... Come on.
That's a problem. I think teams is now scouting report. They ready for RJ. So he got to be ready and he got to get a ball up more because now you got more help. Mitch is putting himself in a position to help the team and y'all not keeping him motivated or keeping him happy. And that's probably why he was just fouling people because that's the type of player Mitch is. If you keep Mitch happy, Mitch will play smarter. If you watch him, that's the type of player he is. I don't know why he's like that, but it's true. He get frustrated, so that's a part of it. When you're a player, you know if you get frustrated, you can make silly mistakes. So Freezy just said that about RJ. That's bad because when you look at all the shots he had, he didn't need all them shots in a game where it wasn't about him. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't knowing. It's gonna be a whole season of games where everybody ain't gonna have a great game. And I'm saying this now, so the other players that's not on just contribute in the best way possible. You may make the game winning shot, which could be worth more than having 20 points in that game. You know what I mean? So,
hey, Mr. Hardwell, but my point though with RJ is you got your money, you know you the future.
Now play.
Why do you feel like you got to go out there and press and play like Jason Tatum? RJ Barrett, you're not Jason Tatum. You're not Brandon Ingram.
He want to prove he's an all-star already, I think. And that's a problem. You can't do it like that. You got to just play freely. Get out your head, bro.
Right. This game is about winning. It's not about all-stars. Teams win with all-stars, but because they win makes them all-stars.
They making the team win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. RJ pressing. That's the main thing. When you saw RJ go up like this and throw the ball a mile high in the air, he lost it.
Mm-hmm.
You was out like RJ pressing. He wanted to prove to everybody
in the corner.
Yes. He
That
wanted to prove to everybody that he was worth that contract extension. Right? And Cam, on the other hand, was telling y'all the whole time. Cam was like, "Yo, I don't have anything to prove." Cam said, "I have something to prove to myself first, and then to others." Cam said that in the preseason. Like, what are you going out here to do? He's like, "Yo,"
I like that.
He was like, "Yeah, I have something to prove to myself." And people were thinking like Cam Reddish is selfish. Nah, Cam just Cam Reddish. You saw it in the preseason when Cam Reddish got that steal where he baited the guy. He looked the other way and then turned back real quick, and the dude threw it right to him, and Cam dunked on him. Right then, Cam was telling everybody, like, "Listen, I'm willing to do whatever it takes for this team to win, because ultimately, team players stay in the league longer than dudes that just flat out think they can score."
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Cam Reddish, at one point, his assist percentage was 7%. Right? That's atrocious. That means out of every 100 times you touch a basketball, you get 7 assists. That means that's counting missed shots, turnovers, free throw, all this stuff, all these things that could possibly happen. Only 7 times you get an assist to one of your teammates. That's the most unselfish thing that you ever saw. And then last night, you saw Cam Reddish do the complete opposite. And last night, you saw RJ Barrett, instead of knowing that he's not getting calls going to the rim, he still goes to the rim and jacks up shots.
You know what, Freezy? I've noticed a thing. It may speak to RJ's arrogance or confidence, but like he's had terrible games before, and he's been clutch towards the end. Like he's been like second half player, and maybe in his mind he thought maybe, okay, I'm gonna just keep shooting because I put in the work.
Shoot. Yeah.
I put in the work, and it's gonna turn around for me eventually. But at some point, you gotta like sacrifice yourself for the team, because statistically he's been one of the most clutch players in the league. So he thought, okay, even if it's not going right for me, I put in the work in the gym. I know what I'm capable of. I'm gonna still put it up. But like there has to be a balance between your IQ and your arrogance.
But you can't have Quickly doing it, Rose doing it, and RJ doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can't have like 3 or 4 guys with that same mindset, because all it does is just lead. All it does is snowball and compound, and you don't necessarily want that, especially when. Here's the thing that I want to point out too. When Randle was clearly able to beat his matchup, Emmanuel Quickly, Derrick Rose, and RJ Barrett were still jacking up shots.
Yep.
So instead of saying, "Hey, let's just fuel our best player and let him go get it," we were like, "Well, Randle dribbled the ball too much. I'm gonna just go ahead and jack this 3 from the corner with a hand in my face." What's the difference between you shooting a fadeaway 3-pointer off 1 foot with a hand in your face and Julius Randle pounding the basketball?
Nothing.
But Randle was having a good game too. That's the problem I'm having, because he wasn't just pounding the basketball.
No, he
probably
was
would have
not.
went and got us a bucket.
And you know what else Randle was doing last night too? He was a willing passer.
Yes.
You remember you remember the bounce pass the pass he threw to Mitch? There's no way he should have tried to pass that ball between 2 dudes that knew the pass was coming. But unselfishly, he was sending a message to Mitchell Robinson like, "Hey, big fella, I know you out here too." You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
He sent the pass and got it through to Mitch, and Mitch dunked it. And Mitch was like, just ran back down. You could see Mitch hopping back down the court. RJ Barrett beat his man off the dribble, had him on his shoulder, and Mitch was coming from the free throw. RJ coming baseline, Mitch coming from the free throw line. RJ could have did a wraparound pass to Mitch,
Easily.
and Mitch could have dunked, but RJ Barrett threw up a weird floater off an odd angle and missed.
He was pressing, trying to prove something to himself and to other people. Like he's trying, because it's the first game and it was a marquee game. He was trying to establish himself, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
He just got paid. He want to be an all-star. You know,
and it's one of our few nationally. Yeah, it's one of our few nationally televised games that we get this year.
Right.
And the guys that he's playing against is already going towards superstar status. Like you said, Ja Morant and Zion, even though we know where he is, he know that he want to be up there with those guys. You know what I'm saying? And he still got a lot of work to do. And that could mess you up mentally. I think you made a great point, Freezy. If he's that small IQ player, then he got to be smarter and make sure he figure out how to get the win. Every game is going to be a different way to figure that out. And you got to be like a chameleon and adapt to whatever you're going against. You know what I'm saying? You can't just come out there thinking like because of what happened last season. If Randle would be playing the way he's playing now, you wouldn't have had to do that last season.
Oh, well, you know what I would have did if I was RJ last night? When Randle found out, I would have volunteered to play the 4, right?
Instead of Fournier, yep.
And why would you put Fournier? Right.
I don't know. That was a bad decision.
I would have left the Fournier Cam thing together, right? And with Brunson, because Brunson got a lot of shots with Cam and Fournier on the floor. If y'all notice, Jalen Brunson got a lot of wide open looks from 3
because they can't leave them open.
Right, but if RJ had played if RJ had been like, yeah, man, you know, I'll play the 4, I'll play the Julius role, then you would see. Yeah, because if Julius Randle was thriving in that role against their defense, that means if you put RJ in that role, he may not have got the same success.
He would have did better.
But he would have got some opportunities.
Because he's faster, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And he's not that much smaller than Randle.
Nah, man. And so what I'm getting at is like, for instance, when me and Hart, and it's called being unselfish. Like a lot of times when me and Hart will have a conversation, and Hart will want to get in his bag, and I want to get in my bag. What I'll do is I'll set my bag to the side, and I'll get in Hart Will bag with Hart Will. So then when Hart Will be throwing out his points, I'm gonna ask Hart Will questions about the stuff that he said. So that everybody can enjoy what it is that Hart Will talking about, because we know it's fire. So what I'm gonna do is ask Hart Will questions based off of where he coming from. And that's all RJ Barrett had to do with that team last night. Like, Cam, I know you cooking. Where you want the ball on the floor at? I'll come up and screen for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll draw defenders away, man, so that you can cook. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Evan, where do you want those? You want those threes in the corner? I'll come out and screen for you. You know what I'm saying? Play unselfish basketball. It's what dudes do. Winners do. Man, if people talk about the pick and roll with John Stockton and Malone, right? But what people don't talk about is how Stockton used to set back screens so Karl Malone can get open.
And why they don't do that for Randle? Because if Randle gets set a pick and get a mismatch, if he's in the box, that's an easy bucket.
Right.
So that's like saying set a pick so you create the switch. Mad NBA teams do that already.
Right.
But get him where he's most effective, not at the top of the 3-point line. That's just too far. You know what I'm saying? Pick, roll, post right there.
Right. It's how you remember how Bobby Hurley used to screen for Christian Laettner. Like they would run offense, right? They ran the 1-4 motion with Christian Laettner because he could shoot, right? But Bobby Hurley, you could see Bobby Hurley screening for Grant Hill and Christian Laettner because the stats wasn't important, the winning was important.
Winning is important. Yeah. You got to put your personal feelings aside to get the win. It's a one-team goal.
Yeah,
after Cam's performance yesterday, if you don't mind, 1 second, and I'll be done. After Cam's performance yesterday, what happens now? Should this guy start? What do you think?
After one game?
No.
I would put
I don't know. Tibbs doesn't work that way, though. Tibbs doesn't move that fast.
No,
you don't have to do that like 4 or 5 times in a row.
What I would say to D'Angelo's question is this, because that's a great question, right? But what I would say, I want to answer your question with a question. If should Cam Reddish start right? I'm asking you this. Do you believe yesterday's RJ Barrett is the RJ Barrett going forward?
Hey, listen, you know something? Not to be, I after the contract signing, maybe he feels now he's pressured to be even better. You know, listen, he didn't show anything yesterday, so yeah, I don't know. You know that it gets me a little nervous with how bad that he played that game. Now he could step up the next 4 or 5 games and then have a bad 2. I don't know what RJ. You know, RJ's still a young guy. I'm not making any excuses. He's not young enough to get that contract. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. I got to be honest with you. That was a horrible, embarrassing performance with him yesterday.
Because based off of what you said, if Cam starts, you have to remove somebody from the starting lineup.
The Fournier.
Right? All right. So if you remove Fournier from the starting lineup, then who are you replacing on the second unit with Fournier?
Yeah. I don't know. Good point. Right. You know, but I don't know. I gotta think about it a little more.
Is it quickly? Do you go with Fournier and Rose as your backcourt off the bench?
Do you go with quickly after last night? So
do you? But I'm asking. Do you go with a lineup of Rose, Grimes, Fournier, Obi, Hartenstein, and make Emmanuel quickly situational?
Because I like the situational with him. Yeah.
Because if you do that, you're admitting to the world that your first round pick is not a rotational NBA player.
Yeah, it's a tough one. He's got his hands full. So is his franchise.
Yeah, it's the domino effect. If you start Cam, you have to sit somebody, and then if you sit somebody, who is that person sitting replacing? Because think about this: if you take Fournier out of the
can't play him at the 3.
My fear is that if you take Fournier out of the lineup, Tibbs is going to do him like Kemba. Like not only take him out of the starting lineup, but take him out of everything. Yeah, like he did Kemba, right? And if you do that,
can Fournier's ego stand that if he's going to be that kind of a player like that? Because he's going to vote himself out.
Yeah,
I want to be out of here. Yeah,
and why would you when you're a proven NBA starter? You know what I'm saying for 10 seasons, right? You telling me I can't start on this team that won 37 games? Get me out of here.
All right, touche. You got me, Freeze. All right.
I'm asking if you would just engage in a butterfly effect with me. I'm trying to like, you know, because everything has repercussions. Like when things happens one place, you have to look at the repercussions in other places. Is what I'm getting at. All right. So what do you do if and think about this is my other thing too. If Fournier is not good enough to start at the 2, should you consider outside options?
Yeah. Well, yeah,
that's my biggest problem with the 2.
All right, you know, if you're gonna play the young guys, I just like again Fournier. I mean, what are we trying to do with this team? Which direction is this franchise going? It's all that stuff, you know.
And should we do? And should we consider doing all of that stuff after 5 or 6 NBA games?
No, of course not. No, I'm overanalyzing, you know, whatever on the first game. RJ's performance, quickly, Obi, all that stuff. You know, Cam showed up. I seen the fire in the belly, which I love. You know, him drawing back. I think at Ja when he made that shot. So I was pumped after that. That was like, nice.
Yeah, but because you know Cam Reddish was also in that Zion and Ja Morant draft.
Yeah. He's on that list too. He's on the ESPN 100 list. And that's what I wanted to say about with Grimes, right? Grimes being hurt, it to me, it causes a lot of like depth issues and like I feel like you know, they were saying Grimes is untradeable and all that stuff. And I feel like if Grimes was here, would we have saw that Cam Reddish sighting that we saw yesterday?
Nope.
And I feel like with karma and things that's supposed to happen will happen, and I feel like that's the opportunity players get when they're not in a rotation and the player get hurt, but fans are saying Cam because they know what Cam could do. And I feel like why Tibbs don't know what Cam could do, because that's a piece that I feel like could be a part of the Knicks for the future if you just give him a chance to get confidence. But with Grimes there, Cam there, it made me think of that when you said about Cam, because it's RJ, Cam, and Grimes. They always on the ESPN top 100 list. And I said this on my show that if we could just build those guys and let them play and be comfortable, I think they're all complement each other, because they all got something to prove, and they play with a lot of guys that the NBA praises now. And
But what about the way, man, at the end of the game, did you see Tibbs coaching up Cam? He grabbed Cam, like Cam and RJ was standing in front of Tibbs, and Tibbs was specifically coaching up Cam, had his hand around his waist, and when it went time for them to go into the game, RJ was there standing like, yo. And Tibbs pushed Cam in the back like, go.
Put Cam in, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, RJ went in
Cam
too.
cracked the Tibbs safe. He finally cracked the Tibbs safe.
Bro.
Did he crack the Tibbs safe with that free seat?
I don't know. You know me. You know me. When I see things one time, I'm just like, I don't want to draw a conclusion.
You be hyped though when you see it. You be like, what?
But finally, he talking to Cam face to face.
He finally acknowledges him.
He said, "Finally talk to
Cam." He finally acknowledging that Cam Reddish is alive.
Tibbs is a Scrooge.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
a question about Cam starting. Oh, I'm saying yes. Let's go butterfly.
Yeah, IQ been blocking Cam shine since I don't know how long. IQ's having nightmares.
Right.
But let's start Cam.
Fan base, yo. I hate to say it, bro.
Yeah. But the thing is, and this is the thing I want to say to the chat, and not to dominate the conversation, but bro, it's hard coaching a bunch of kids that when all of them want to play, because ultimately the organization is holding you accountable for winning and losing.
Facts.
And then it's like anybody in here in the educational system, anybody in the chat in the educational system.
I used to be.
Yeah, it's like one of them things where the county, the school district wants these kids to pass the standardized tests, right? They need to get a certain percentage to pass these standardized tests, right? But at the same time, they don't look at the human beings. They don't look at these 12-year-olds or these 10-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? They don't know their
numbers. They just numbers.
Yes, that's the school district, and that's their job. Their job is to have a certain percentage of these kids passing.
Analytics.
Yeah. And that's what the front office wants, right? Mm-hmm. But then the coach, in this scenario, the school teacher, has to take a bunch of kids that have all different levels of aptitude and have them reach this certain standard by the end of the year, right? And then some of the kids are not going to have the aptitude, but they try hard, so they'll reach it. And then some of these kids will have talent, but they lazy. And then other kids will be super smart, but they might be distracted by things going on at home. You know what I'm saying? Like they stepdaddy be changing every month, or you know what I'm saying, Mom Dukes is working 3 jobs, or whatever the distraction is. And you take into account all these different things. But the school district, i.e. the front office, wants you to reach a certain standard regardless of what's going on with these kids, right? It's the same thing with Tibbs. Tibbs last year had the Obi problem. Everybody like, yo, Obi need to be on the floor. Obi need to be playing and blah, blah, blah. And then in the middle of that, they bring in Cam Reddish. So he's like, wait a minute. You trying to get me to get all these guys on the floor, and then you bring in another kid? And then people take that as, yo, Tibbs don't like Cam Reddish. when it was, in my opinion, it was a never Tibbs didn't like Cam Reddish, but Tibbs was trying to unlock Kevin Knox and Obi, right? Because Kevin Knox
already disappointed from those.
Yes, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so what it is you give Tibbs time in the offseason to work with all the kids together, give everybody their individual attention, explain to them what he requires. This is what I want from you. This is what I see on tape. This is it. I feel like if you get in the weight room, you can do such and such better. If you go to a shot coach, i.e. Obi, you can do such and such better. You can unlock the rest of your offense. You can attack the closeout better if you go with a shooting coach and get your shot better. That's what Obi did, right? And so the thing with Cam is not that Cam Reddish was super talented and Tibbs never gave him a shot. The thing is Tibbs never had the opportunity to give this dude time to play in a real game because when he got Cam was hurt, right? Mm-hmm. And then when Cam got healthy enough to play, he was still hurt. Once he got healthy, he hurt his shoulder, right? That was last year. This year he struggled in the preseason, but when you saw Cam in real NBA minutes, you saw what Cam Reddish can do when he healthy.
Yep.
When he healthy, that wasn't Tibbs blackballing him, or that wasn't Cam Reddish not having heart. Bro, is some of this stuff, to use a Clyde Frazier word, is serendipitous. All these things have to come together in order for you to see the best of one player. And it was like it happened to Obi at the end of last season. Obi needed somebody on that unit with him in order to unlock Obi, and it so happened that IQ got out of his slump and started balling at the same time.
So who helped unlock Cam? Pardon me, Freezy. I mean to cut you. Who helped unlock Cam, you think, Freeze?
I think Tom Thibodeau did.
Tom Thibodeau did. Who was on the court with Cam when Cam started to go off? Was Derrick Rose on the floor with him?
Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson. Bro.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson.
He put him in with some of the starters. He did.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson, bro. Because when you saw it, the first shot that Cam Reddish hit, it wasn't the most clean look, but it was a clear nod from them saying, "Hey, Cam, you a part of us. Take this three from the top of the key." Remember, the first shot he hit was the three from the top of the key, and the shot went in. And guess what? All four of the other players did. Running back down court, they ran and dapped up. Yeah, Cam.
Yeah.
Because they probably see all the work he puts in practice that he shows out in practice, probably.
And they know.
And they know, yeah. They're all blue chippers, so they all know each other for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And Grimes was really happy for Cam. I seen Grimes make a face like he stretched his eyes like, yo, Cam has arrived. Like,
right. Yeah.
I was happy to see that. Some of them young boys be having love for each other. It's like some people I could see they kind of, but some players be excited when they see other players.
Because Cam was a legend in the AAU circuit, so they all knew him. Like he was dominant in AAU.
Yeah, and you know what happened in U17, and I'm not hating on Cam when I say this, but in the U17 circuit, right, when Zion wasn't even cracking the rotation, U17, he was just on the team, right? Cam Reddish was the guy, right? And so they play against RJ Barrett's U17 team, right? And RJ Barrett holds Cam Reddish to 9 points. And RJ Barrett scores 38 points. And everybody's like, who is this dude? Because RJ Barrett was the mystery man.
He's from Canada, that's why.
Yeah. You remember he went to Mount Verde, but he was at Mount Verde Academy behind Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, D'Angelo Russell. All of them dudes played at Mount Verde Academy. RJ Barrett was the 8th grader.
Even coming up under those dudes, though, tough because he was already around, and for him to even be there, he had to have talent at his grade to play on the same team with that much talent. You know what I'm saying? And Freezy is right what he's saying about Cam and all. That's serious. Even Grimes, somebody wrote in the chat the other day, he was Mr. Texas. He was big.
Yeah,
coming up in the AAU.
He was supposed to be D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, he was supposed to be top drafted, one and done from Kansas. So we do have talent. It's just that we gotta nurture it. Right. I feel like you can't really, like, even how Memphis put guys in that was first and second year players with no experience, but they just showed up because they showed that they believed in those guys. And that's part of coaching. When you tell your guys to shoot the ball, this is what you do. You can make that shot. Then you get a couple good passes wide open, and then you're going to knock it down because you're a professional. You know what I'm saying? Well, now it seemed, it was a lot of like, they not ready for this now because we trying to go accomplish things that we not even ready to accomplish. So I feel like we was trying to skip the line of the process of really what we need to do. So, even for me, making the playoffs is a big accomplishment for this team because they kind of win in the direction that they was fighting to be in. You know what I mean? Not letting the guys really develop, skip the line, and let them develop in fast time. Even though I still feel like Obi could be better, he still got to get in the game and make the best of his opportunity if he's not a starter. You know what I mean? And he got to show ways to make him stay on the floor. Because every night with this much talent on the team, it's going to be nights where everybody ain't going to shine. It got to be like you sacrificing your own success for wins and just help the team win in your contribution, however that may be. And with all these guys, it's going to change from night to night. Yeah, it's going to be mainly guys who are better right now should have more points on a night-to-night basis. But the guys like RJ and the younger guys, they got to just play the game as it comes to them. Stop trying to can't premeditate that you're going to average this or that on this type of team. It don't work like that, bro.
Right. No, right. No, I feel you. I feel you. Ultimately, what I'm saying to Knicks fans, based on all the conversations and things we talked about today, is that we should probably just relax and enjoy the ride. Right. So we saw some Cam, you know what I'm saying? We saw some Julius, you know what I'm saying? We saw some JB, you know what I'm saying? We saw some bad things from players. It's only game 1 of 82. We got 81 more of these things to go. Right. And so what we should do is just not focus on the parts that we saw, but focus more on the entire product that we're seing.
More on the positive, right? Because we came from a far way.
Yeah. And also, this is the first year that we don't have a impactful rookie, right? So we got to look at our second. We looking at our second and third year players as their rookies, right? The last night, a second year player didn't even play.
Oh, yeah, because what's his name? Grimes didn't play.
McBride didn't play.
Yeah.
And Sims didn't play.
Yep.
And I think we could have used Sims. Funny you mentioned Sims right now. I think we could have used him.
We got bullied on the glass, man.
Hartenstein got pushed around.
Yeah.
Because of Steve Adams, but
Freezy, I got a hot take. The Wizards drafting that kid probably saved us from a terrible draft this year.
Johnny Davis?
Yes. Yeah. Because if they didn't take him, we would have took him.
We would have took him.
And he is terrible right now. He is absolutely terrible.
But who's our backup point guard right now?
I mean, he's not a point guard though. He's like
not.
He's like an undersized 2. I mean, they made him like the hub offensive player on that team, but he's really like a 2-3 because he's not a great passer. He was like an undersized 3 on that team. He's not really a passer.
You think McBride is better than him?
I don't know.
No,
how you say that?
The thing about the guy that they got, Johnny Davis, he's a shrunken down RJ Barrett. He's not athletic. You know what I'm saying? He depends on IQ. He's a tough shot. He's hard-willed and tough guy. You know, no pun intended, bro. Because he'll never be hard-willed, but you understand.
No, I get what you said. Yeah,
the
will to win, hard work.
Yeah. But in the NBA, you have to have if you see RJ Barrett struggle, and RJ Barrett is undersized to a certain extent. Imagine a dude 3 inches shorter than that.
Without like explosiveness.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yes, yeah,
that's rough.
And he doesn't have a long wingspan either.
Nope.
So
the Knicks wouldn't draft RJ if he was.
And he can't. And he's not a knockdown 3-point shooter.
A lot of the reason we drafted RJ is because he's quite possibly the most decorated high school athlete since LeBron.
Since LeBron, yeah. And the other thing too about RJ is wherever he has deficiencies, he's got resources to make up for those deficiencies. Like if he's not a good passer, if his passing game is off, Steve Nash is his godfather. You know what I'm saying? If his handle's not tight, he worked with Chris Brinkley. He's been working with Brinkley since he was 16.
Drew Hanlon.
I'm sorry, not Chris Brinkley, but Drew Hanlon. He's been working with Drew Hanlon since he was 16.
And you can see the changes in his game.
Yeah.
Albeit maybe not as pronounced, but you can see. Because like this year, you'll see him like do a lot more dribbling to get to his shot. Before he was one dribble goal. Like he's doing a lot more
straight line, head down. Yeah.
He's trying to create a little bit more wiggle in his game.
Yeah.
If you can tell. But
you can tell he's got some more wiggle in his game. But the only thing about it is he doesn't have wiggle and strength at the same time like Harden.
Yeah.
Because Harden is not the best athlete either. You know what I'm saying?
But he's like a fridge with the ball.
Yeah. But Harden's got exceptional handles and he can shoot the three. You can't, man, he put a move on the Celtics the other night, bro.
He did twice.
Yes. I mean, one time he shot a brick. Remember the brick he shot off the side glass? It was still funny. It was still funny he had that much time to do it with brick. But the fact that he created that much separation is hilarious for a dude that's 230.
On the defensive play.
He looked better though.
Like
yeah. Oh yeah, he in shape now.
He looked better.
Yeah,
he cut down.
Yeah.
This season looked like it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Great NBA season ahead of us. You know, I'm glad the niggas gonna compete. That's all I was happy about, that they really compete. You know what I'm saying? They took the punch in the mouth and came back and forth.
Yeah. And so with the point I was making about the Cam Reddish starting at the 3 thing, or the devolution of Evan Fournier, I'm not saying Fournier is a bad player, but you only get 5. You can only start 5 guys, and if you start Cam, who are you taking out? Cam Reddish or RJ Barrett? I mean, Evan Fournier or RJ Barrett? And you know RJ's a starter. He started since day one.
RJ's not going nowhere.
Yeah, RJ Barrett.
They got to figure out a way to trade Fournier.
With Grimes not being here, I agree with your point earlier when you said that why they had to keep RJ in. They didn't have nobody, or if they put Cam in the starting lineup, then it's like who you gonna replace off the bench? Like it makes sense, and they still need to get somebody to me for the 2 or the 3, or if you're gonna use that Cam start. Then RJ start. Then it's like Fournier coming off the bench at the 3, and then quickly at the 2 and Rose at the 1. I don't think I like that lineup.
Right.
But like the way it's progressing, it's a wings league, man. So we need to prioritize Cam and Grimes and RJ anyway, because you need 2-way wings. You need point of attack defenders.
Right.
And you can't win without them, honestly. You see how badly the Lakers are looking, and it's because they don't have any wings on that team outside of LeBron.
Yeah, and they handling Cam like that. Like he's not wings walk around the league, and then when he showed what he could do last night, like I already knew he could do it, but I feel like Tibbs, now he showed you his bag, like in a big game, under pressure, like all the emotions involved. You know what I mean? Like, so imagine as a coach, you got to say to yourself, imagine if this kid is comfortable and he gets the ball the right way. And I'm sure if they're looking at film, they see quickly not giving that man the ball. Like,
he be looking
a lot of issues.
Not gonna lie, he be dribbling with his head down when he sees Cam in the corner.
Right.
Like quickly, man, your IQ, man. They need to change your name from IQ to, I don't know. I gotta remix your name, bro. Not IQ.
Yeah, man.
It's something else, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not IQ. It's I don't know. That's your
question mark, bro. That should be his number. Question mark. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So the thing with IQ is I want IQ to be successful, man. But when you look at the trail of results that follow Emmanuel quickly, it's if he's not balling, he's not getting nobody else involved. And that's not really what you need from a primary ball handler. You know what I'm saying? You prefer you prefer for Quickly to be like, yo, if I'm not doing good, then I'm gonna make sure 2 other people are having a great game, as opposed to if I'm not playing good, nobody else is playing good. Yo, but with that said, man, I gotta get out of here. I gotta wrap up, man. Hardwell, as usual, bro. It's a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Rocking with you, Dre. Hey, Dre, man, I meant to tell you, man, thank you for being Dre, thank you for being one of the backbones of the channel, bro. I appreciate you. One of these days, I'm gonna stop being so tech ignorant. One of these days, I'm working on it, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe
it takes time, and I'm like, you're going through a bit of a transition now with your personal life and stuff going on.
Yeah,
so, like,
man.
I understand that time.
Man. So yeah, about next week sometime, I think I should be straight. You know what I'm saying? The electrician to be here.
We appreciate you, Freeze.
Yeah, man.
Like,
We grinding.
always putting this, you know what I mean, putting the channel and the shows up. No matter, you know what I mean, you go your grind. You are the man of this, bro. For real, we appreciate what you do, man.
Yo, I need to ask you, what's gonna be the name of our joint? Do you have a name?
I noticed what you wrote in the email, but we'll talk about it offline. I think I caught something in the email that may be a good name or could point us in the right direction of the name, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so
man.
I'll talk to you about that. I think I got something. If that's not it, I could come up with something. But you had wrote something that caught my attention. And I was like, oh, maybe Freezy got one right there. I know you probably did that on purpose, and that's why you probably said that. Because most
I gotta label them because I be having so many ideas. I gotta label them to separate them. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if it stick, it stick. If it don't, it don't. We'll come up with, you know, at the end of the day, if it don't, we'll just ask Dre, because Dre probably the smartest dude in the Blorange Tears universe anyway.
Dre could be one of those people that we use, like you said, to come on and ask a question, because I like how he breaks stuff down. You know what I'm saying? Also, I want to say, reference to how the season started alone,
right.
That's gonna make the takes crazy, you know what I mean, for the audio joint, because you don't need a visual to talk about exciting basketball. You know what I'm saying? There's so much exciting stuff that came out of just one game. I could just imagine by the time we do something how it's gonna be. So to me, I'm excited. Can't wait. Shout out to the chat, whole Blorange Tears family, everybody in the chat. Salute y'all.
Yeah, man. We about to get this thing up and popping. This me and Hartwell got a joint. Me and BK Steph, we're gonna continue doing our joint, and then we got the big boss man roundtable. You know what I'm saying, coming. That's gonna be fire, because these dudes I think one dude's like a senator and like it's saying the other dude's like a hotshot lawyer in Atlanta. It's gonna be funny to hear these dudes talk about, you know what I'm saying, talk about that. So keep an eye out for that, and everybody. I'm gonna get out here. I gotta check all Mo. I got a dog. I got a pit bull running around the neighborhood. So you already know what that's like. So let me get out of here and make sure
Shout out Ron Cleveland in the chat. What's good?
Oh yeah, Ron, what's good, Ron? I'm gonna call you in a few minutes, Ron.
Shout out to my guy Ron.
Ron Cleveland. I'm gonna call you in a few minutes. All right, y'all.
All right, Freezy. Talk to you later, bro.
Yeah, man. Peace, y'all.